que baila mi amor, tengo la grande fortuna de estar en tu corazón. Baila que baila la luna, baila que baila mi amor, tengo la grande fortuna de estar en tu corazón.
Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Box Debate Arena. Open Lines Friday. It's summer open lines because it's still summer, so anybody can join. Everybody should join. This is the Bucho birthday special, so you better be drinking or else you can't jump in. Obviously, I'm joking, but shout out to everybody in the chat. To Matador, Body Love. Of course, we have here Nightmare, Jay Will, Trooper 5131, Team Batman Boxing, Grim Reaper, The One, Frankie. Guys, welcome and thank you for the birthday wishes. All right. The wishes, no birthday. I don't know how the fuck you call it. I'm already drinking, by the way. But, all right, let's cut the fucking music. What is this? All right, this sounds like Jewish. Is this Mexican? Yeah, the link is in the description. I'll be posting the link in the chat. Just give me 2 seconds. Link in the chat. Jump in. Let's talk some boxing. I'm pretty sure we're going to start talking about Canelo Crawford again. I don't mind. Really, I have a lot to say. I've been working on a video. It should be coming out soon. We're gonna be looking at, in my video, we're gonna be looking, because Mr. B is also coming up out with a video. In my video, we're looking at the Madrimov fight, the Crawford versus Kavaliauskas fight, and the Sean Porter fight, where I'm gonna show you how vulnerable Terence Crawford looked in those fights. He got hit a lot. I mean, he made some pretty big mistakes, I would say. Mistakes that if he makes those mistakes against Canelo, he's gonna get knocked out. You know, a lot of people keep saying that, oh, Crawford has this high IQ. He's like he's a superhuman, basically. I don't see this IQ. I see, and I mean, he's skillful. He has a lot of reflexes. He reacts well to punches. He can take a punch, I should say. But and he's strong. For the welterweight division, for the junior welterweight division, he was very strong, stronger than his opponents. He hits hard in those weight divisions. But at 154 against Madrimov, he didn't look that devastating. Madrimov was kind of, weary of Crawford's power, but not to the point where he was fucking scared. And so, what's going to happen when Crawford fights the super middleweight? No, is Canelo even going to be scared? They're concerned about Crawford's power. And when Crawford lets his hands go, he usually, not I shouldn't say always, he usually loses in the exchanges. You're going to see it in the video. Because, when I say all this stuff, I know that Crawford fans going like, what the fuck, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But when you see it on video, I want to hear what some people have to say. Because you can't deny what's on video. Team Batman Boxing says Canelo walking home down and stopping him. I think he is. I think he's going to stop him. That's going to be my prediction. I'm still waiting. Did I already give my prediction? Let's see what we have here. I don't think I've given my prediction yet. We have some people who have said Crawford by Mirage says, of course, Mirage says Crawford by decision. Gonzalo says Canelo stoppage 9th. Canelo by stoppage. All right, I did say Canelo by stoppage. I'm going to stick with that. I'm not going to give a round yet. I'm going to have to, but for now, I'm telling you guys, Canelo by stoppage. Look at the mistakes that Crawford makes. They're insane. When he throws that, when he's in the southpaw stand and he throws that right hook, it's some sort of slap, and he's wide open, and you can see it coming. All right, we have D Styles and Vessel, and we have Never Sobers. Guys, welcome to the show. So yeah, I was telling the people that I'm working on a new video, and I was in the video we're gonna talk about Crawford versus Madrimov against Kavaliauskas and against Sean Porter, and I'm saying that after watching those fights, I'm like, Canelo's gonna win by stoppage.
Is it really your birthday, Bucho?
Yes.
Happy birthday, amigo.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Feliz
the birthday
cumpleaños,
special.
güey.
So you better be drinking, because that's how a Mexican birthday.
I don't drink. Crimson Cross your path. Oh Lord.
You're like BDA?
Yep, straight edge, bro.
So you're doing cocaine?
We don't talk about that.
Okay. That doesn't count.
I'll have a crazy loaded espresso for you, in your honor.
That's good enough. Just put a lot of sugar in it.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, Canelo. I think you're picking Crawford, right, to win this fight.
Yeah, my prediction is stands, man. I really think he's gonna make it close enough so that Turkey can give it to him. Wink, wink.
That's interesting. So your prediction is basically Crawford by robbery.
Yeah, by robbery, because at the end of the day, I think Canelo's gonna edge it, but they're gonna give it to Crawford because Turkey has preferential, right? So what I guess.
Treatment. But why can't?
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, it's unlikely that Canelo stops Crawford, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
And why is that?
Like I told you guys, I made a pretty decent sized bet on this, and I actually went back and watched most of the fights. I watched all of Crawford's fights and most of Canelo's fights.
Mm-hmm.
At least the last 15 of them. And I think Canelo has really slipped. Actually, he's not how he used to be.
Right.
Like this style of this like sledgehammer, like going one punch. That's not how you beat someone like Crawford. You have to trade with him and beat him in the trades. You can't just initiate with through one punch or two punch and try to break the guard that way. That's not how you beat him.
Right. And I understand that, and I've mentioned that in my video, one of my videos, where I said I can understand why some people believe that Canelo is kind of losing it, and why that fight might go to a decision. And I talked about a skull fight, but I think that's a little bit deceiving. I think Canelo knows what's at stake here. I mean, we don't know, right? This is just my prediction. What's at stake here is something extremely big. Canelo gets a lot of criticism.
Everything.
From Mexicans. From Mexicans, the source, they a lot of them criticize Canelo. No matter what he does. Even if he beats whoever, they're still going to criticize him. But in this fight, man, listen, if he goes 12 rounds with Crawford, he knows he's going to get a lot of shit from the Mexican fans.
Here's the one thing that kind of made me feel a little concerned, I guess, for my bet, is that Canelo looks like he's coming in way lighter than he's used to.
Yes, that's true.
So I think he knows. I think he knows he has to trade a lot. So that's why he's getting lighter. This is gonna be like you have to hunt him down, trade a lot, out jab him, outwork him.
Remember the last time he looked lighter was in the Golovkin rematch, and that's the fight where he ended up throwing 600 shots, which I think is a career high for him.
That could be it, actually. Maybe he knows, bro.
Well, he knows he's gonna have to catch a little rabbit on the run, right?
Yeah,
because he already knows once
Crawford
feels the power, he's gonna be on the retreat. He's not gonna keep coming at him. You know, maybe the first 2 rounds, but once he feels the power, he's gonna try to box. And you know, like what you're saying, like this fight is a big deal, right? Because before the fight, months before the fight, when I was calling for the fight, people would say that's a stupid matchup. You know, Canelo's too big, and you know, whoop-de-woo, everything, bro. Everything is just a dumb matchup.
Right.
And then when I would point out the physical differences with them being minuscule, people would say that's stupid, blah blah blah. But now, once the fight becomes official, slowly but surely, you see these guys, you know, doing the mental gymnastics in their head, saying, you know what, he kind of looks like Hagler in there, kind of looks like Tommy Hearns. He you know what I mean? His style, his smoothness. You know, Canelo's actually not much bigger. He's the physical differences between them are minuscule. Crawford's actually going to be bigger. He's working with Victor Conte now. You know, so you see they're all fooling themselves into seeing how he has a chance to win.
You predicted this. That how people are going to, you know, they're saying, this isn't a fair fight, you know, but as soon as they announced it, I can see something, you know, in a lot of interviews, these people always say, you know, I think Crawford sees something. Like, well, okay, but do you see it? Do you see something? Like what is Crawford? Some sort of like what is it? Like a Nostradamus? I don't know. Some sort of rocket scientist or something. He's extremely smart. He can
some kind of Negro Damas.
Nobody can see it, right? Crawford can see something. Wait, hold on. Let me read a super chat before I forget. Gene Ryu with a juicy super chat. I really appreciate that. Ryu, let me just put it on the screen. He's with a super chat. Why is it fucking small? Anyways, he says, wait. Here we go. He says, happy birthday, Bucho, and salute BDA and the community. I'm hoping odds move more in favor of Crawford so I can put a larger bet on Canelo, of course. He says, some shekels for the baby oil and whipped cream for tonight's festivities. Canelo TKO. Okay, now wait a minute, Jim Ryu. You know, all I'm doing is having a few drinks. That's pretty much it. It's not gonna go further than that. But thank you for that.
Yes. So Bucho, what am I doing with these 3 cases of baby oil you ordered for me?
Hold on. I told you not to talk about this on the air. Jesus.
I'll take them.
BDA will take them.
We're gonna have a free call.
You really appreciate it.
I'll give him a good home.
This is a family show, man. Guys, come on, man. Let's make
up someone's ass. No, you know what though? I was gonna say that. Can you hear me though?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know if I'm going in now.
I think you sound okay. Yeah.
That's what the baby oil is for. But look, listen. I was watching. Just to swerve a little bit. I was watching. I don't know if you guys saw. I posted on the Discord. Exodus Files. Recognize alerted me about this. They just released a new segment where they're talking to somebody. I don't know who it is. It's a woman. I guess she works inside or adjacent to some sort of PED testing facility or something. I don't know. They never say. So take what she says with a grain of salt. I don't know what her position is, what her post is, what her credentials are. But she's casting aspersions on the Vada thing. And they're talking about Victor Conte and how people have to be wary about the SNAC and Conte. And by the way, people, I'm looking ever since. Sure.
What are you saying, Conte? Like, I don't know. The way you say his name is a little bit strange, but.
You know what's strange to me? You eating while you're on the show.
All right, so you can hear it. Okay.
Conte. Of course I can hear. You got food in your mouth. Oh, you can hear it. You put your ass next to the microphones, like, oh, you can hear my ass. But look, listen. Victor Conte was ever since I did an episode about the Victor Conte situation, right? And that was about 2 weeks ago, I believe. And right around that time, I became familiar with manager Marty, who's been doing this. I checked his archives, videos from all the way up to 2023, or even before then, I believe. So he's been doing it for a long time. Then Showbiz jumped into the fray, and there's another YouTuber. I forget his name. I want to mention the names, but I forget who these people are because, long story short, I'm using a new browser and I'm getting recommended videos. You don't even have to be signed into YouTube to get recommended videos. I don't like logging into. I don't like YouTube knowing what I watch. So anyway, with this one though, with this browser, Brave, it gives you recommendations. So I'm getting all these recommendations about, and I'm looking at I'm looking at this with new clarity. How many people are actually looking into the Victor Conte thing now, and to the point where Victor Conte now is replying on Twitter. What's his name? Showbiz did a video, and he's the biggest YouTuber of everybody in the YTBC. So Victor Conte felt that the need to respond to what he had to say, but there's a lot of people poking holes into the snack industry now, and some of the reposts that I hear from people defending Haney or Snack, anybody involved with Snack, is like, well, first of all, they got to make it racial. Why don't you bring up Bam and Virgil Ortiz? Yeah, I don't know about other people, but I've brought them up. What about Canelo? What about Canelo? These people like to talk about tests and Crawford and all these other guys. They haven't tested positive. Well, Canelo hasn't tested positive either since 2018. So what do they keep? Do they believe in the test or they don't believe in the test? Which one is it? What about the 4 people? By the way, they keep saying this whole thing of 7 people. It's not 7 people that tested positive in Reynoso's camp. So I don't know how many times we got to repeat that.
Well, we already disproved that on the show that we did 2 weeks ago.
People don't listen. Yeah, people don't listen though. People don't listen. And then they go, well, what about Canelo's Reynoso's camp? What about it? They got caught. What, you want us to keep digging and what, have them thrown out of the world, or have them exiled in an island? That they've been caught. The issue at hand here is the Conte situation. And now people are going to say, with Conte, the other thing they say is, what's the deal with Conte? Why are you just going after Conte? Well, I mean, he's there. People keep casting aspersions on the personality and the character and the virtues of the people like us who are pointing out that Conte is dirty, or not that he's dirty. I mean, I'm not saying he's guilty of anything, but what I'm saying is, why take the risk? Why is he allowed?
You agree that it changes ways, BDA?
That's the other argument I'm hearing now. That's the other argument I'm hearing, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, has he really changed his ways? Because take a look at what he's doing. He's saying he's working with that.
That's for sure.
Well, can Eddie Reynoso, if he's actually the one doing it, or his camp, or whoever's fucking guilty, right? Can he just say, "Please forgive me," and can people forgive him like they did Victor Conte?
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. Of course, that's not going to happen.
What do you need? What did fucking this guy do? Snitch or somebody?
Well, let me finish allow me to finish my point here, because you bring up, you made a good observation about that. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so when is Reynoso gonna? Reynoso now is under a microscope, which is what we want people to look at on Conte, because Reynoso's dirty. Okay, his fighters have been caught. People are looking into it. Very few people are looking into Conte. Well, now more and more people are bringing it up. But my issue with Conte is, people say that the argument is, well, why can't he change his ways? Why you want him to? Well, first of all, people are saying, like, you can forgive him. First of all, he did his time. So from the legal standpoint, yeah, he's, nobody's asking for him to remain in jail for 100 years or to be executed. Nobody's saying that. But the point is that he was caught providing all these athletes with PEDs, and they never tested positive. None of his athletes, I repeat, none of his athletes ever tested positive. So it's a risk to have him back in boxing, the same sport that he says has shitty boxing testing standards, shitty testing standards in the world of boxing. And lo and behold, he works his way into boxing. You look at his Snack page, Snack sponsored athletes. It's all boxers with 2 exceptions, 2 fitness athletes. That's it. It's 2 fitness athletes. There's no baseball players. There's no, he used to work with baseball players, not anymore. I don't think the MLB would look too kindly on any current players working with Conte. There's no NFL players, no NBA players, no NHL players, no rugby players, no canasta players, no volleyball, nothing. No MMA guys. 2 boxers, 2 fitness athletes, and the rest are boxers. Because nobody in boxing, nobody gives a shit. So what I'm trying to say here is, when people bring that argument up, is, so he change his ways? Look, he wants to keep selling zinc supplements and magnesium supplements to people, not regular people, fine. But working with athletes is what got him caught in hot water in the first place. So it's nonsensical to have him back in a sport which, again, he says has shitty testing standards. And by the way, people keep harping on about the testing. How come then that when Memo Heredia, his arch enemy, another guy who's was caught selling PEDs, that undetectable PEDs. How come Victor Conte starts casting aspersions on Memo Heredia? Watch out for Memo Heredia. Keep your eyes on Memo Heredia. Why? I thought the testing was great. A lot of the Memo fighters are undergoing VADA testing too, and that's where the inconsistencies start coming up.
Actually, I want to throw.
Hold on. Let me just finish. Let me just finish real quick because I got a couple of things to say here. So that makes no sense. So either they work or it doesn't. So anyway, if he's causing aspersions on Memo Heredia, then he's doing the same thing that we're doing to him, to Victor Conte. So again, you start seeing inconsistencies here with what Victor Conte says. And finally, when people say, well, he's changed his ways. No, he hasn't. At least not in what I'm about to tell you. What did he used to do under Balco? He used to align himself with all these athletes, weightlifters, major league baseball players, what did I say? Yeah, weightlifters and track and field athletes, and he would sponsor them. And these people were breaking records because he was providing PEDs to them. But above that, people didn't know, obviously, that he was giving them PEDs. He would claim that his supplements were the reason why these people were achieving these results and breaking all these records. And what is he doing now? He's aligning himself with athletes again, claiming he's clean, giving them all these supplements in these hyperbaric chambers and these elevation chambers and, the time machine where the time room where you go in there and 1 minute equals 100 years of training. He's doing all of this. And you see guys like Devin Haney regaining 25 pounds overnight. You see Terrence Crawford packing all this muscle at 38 years old. And we're all supposed to just think, oh yeah, he's on the up and up. It's the hyperbaric chamber and the zinc that's doing all that. He's doing the same thing that he was doing with Balco. I'm clean, guys. I'm just giving them supplements. How do we know? I'm not saying he's giving them PEDs. What I'm saying is, how do we know? He should. No other sport will have him other than boxing. Doesn't that raise any eyebrows? And in the Exodus files, finally, let me just conclude with this. And I haven't even scratched the surface yet. But in the Exodus files, they brought up a good point. They said when he came back after his jail sentence, he wanted to kickstart SNAC again. Because, I mean, it's one thing to sell supplements, but it's another to align himself with athletes, because then that lends more veracity or more weight to the productivity or the what's the word, efficacy of the supplements. If he's just selling them to people, people go, okay, well, there's plenty of other supplements out there. Why should I take this? But it's now if you're associated with athletes, especially in a manly sport like boxing, then people go, oh, so that's what he's doing here. But apparently, like the Exodus Files guy says, no major guy would have him. No major boxer like Canelo and all these guys are not going to associate with him. So what did he do? He aligned himself with guys that were a still a bit under the radar, like a Haney. And that's why he was pushing him so much. And the Haneys, remember, the plan was he was going to be the next Mayweather. The comparisons were starting to come out more and more after Haney beat Prograis. So then what happened? Haney loses to Garcia. Shit, we can't have that. It ruins everything. It ruins the SNAC promotions. It ruins the SNAC sponsorships. Everything was dependent on these guys. Look at how these guys perform with Devin Haney. So now it's highly plausible. Now it's even more plausible. You're looking at what I'm going for here and what the Exodus Files guys were pointing out. It's all dependent on the money thing. If Haney loses, so does SNAC. So what happens? Whoopsie daisy, VADA comes along. Hey, some Austrian and this and that. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm not suggesting. What I'm suggesting is that there could be some smoke here. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking very fast because I understand other people want to talk, but that's all I want to say for the moment. Watch that Exodus Files latest clip that just came out. About 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to add two things.
It's Bucho's show today. His birthday.
One, you should never equate Eddie Reynoso to Victor Conte. Conte has been caught supplying PEDs. Eddie Reynoso has never been caught supplying PEDs.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, and this is the more important one, I think. Well, there's not only Eddie Reynoso. There's the whole team behind him, right?
Exactly.
Sorry, not Eddie Reynoso. Yeah, there's a whole team behind him. Same with Conte. Conte has a whole team behind him. Guess what? Who else is on his team? Another known drug cheat. Another known drug PED supplier. Why are we letting these people into the sport when they're known criminals?
Right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I mean, again, I'm not saying he's doing it now, right? But like Vessel suggested, I posed this question to Bucho once when we were talking off the air, but they said, what's the cost benefit of keeping Conte in the sport? And somebody, who was it? I don't know if it was manager Marty, but somebody asked, I forget, sorry if I forget who said it, but somebody asked the same question in a different way. They said, does boxing lose anything if Conte is not in the sport? And which is another way of saying, yeah, what's the cost benefit of having that dude of Conte in the sport? And by the way, people are going to say then, well, they're going to say, well, what about Canelo? Look, I'm saying, I think a lot of these guys are probably on something. If Canelo tests positive again, would I be surprised? No. So now somebody could say, well, okay, then what are you complaining about? I'm not complaining. All I'm saying is people keep looking at Canelo and the 7 fighters, the alleged 7 fighters that tested positive. But you have a guy in Conte and nobody's casting aspersions on Crawford. That's why when Vessel says that Crawford's probably going to get a robbery win against Canelo, people go, well, wait, I mean, Canelo's the one who's been received favor from the judges. Yeah, but you don't understand. Crawford's the American guy. Crawford's the guy that if he wins, everybody wins. Because the journalists win, they get to print the stories about it. She can do a rematch. Vegas wins. Hey, it's the big story. The American fighter who jumped up, I don't know how many weight classes. And what other athletes have done that? The American story, the American success story, breaking records. People associate with Victor Conte, like Marion Jones, who, by the way, never tested positive for anything until they caught Conte, and then all the garbage came out that she'd been on PEDs when she got her 5 gold medals in Sydney. So it's the same playbook here. Crawford, if Crawford wins, it helps SNAC because he was working with us. We were giving him the supplements and the hyperbaric chamber and the time chamber, and imagine that. What an accomplishment. So it makes SNAC ends up winning. It lends it credibility and thus more profit, financial profit. So again, is Canelo on something? Probably. But all I'm saying is just let people know that they're all on something. But like Vessel also said, Vessel made a good distinction. Okay, Reynoso's team members, stable, some of them have been caught with diuretics and other stuff. Now deal with him. Do you want to ban him or not? I'm focusing on the guy who specifically was providing PEDs. Again, we don't know if it's Reynoso. But we know
the equation is not true, though. Reynoso himself has never been caught supplying to any of these people. And the people who've been accused or been caught have always pointed to saying, "Oh, it's my dietitian who gave me this," or my strength fitness coach, like Chivas Rodriguez. It was his strength and fitness coach who gave him that.
Yeah, I don't think
they don't do that. It's always a strength and conditioning guy.
Yeah, it's strength and conditioning coach. Also, this guy is in Remy Korchemi, right? That's the guy who helps SNAC, and look at the fighters he trained. Amir Khan caught with PEDs. Donito Donaire had a scare with PEDs. And he's the guy who helps with SNAC. What is he doing? Oh, he's completely banned from the Olympics because he was caught supplying PEDs to the Olympic racers. Why is he also allowed to be here?
Yeah, no,
and train boxers directly.
I think Victor Conte said, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it again," and I think that's what it was.
But I mean, that's the thing.
Hold on, before I forget, super chats. Just Brian, thank you for your super chat. He says, "Do you guys think Bud would have moved up in weight if he was Triple G, the champion at 168, and not Canelo?" Who wants to answer that? No?
No, for sure, no.
Anybody else?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, just to answer his question, I wouldn't think so. Right now, it's Crawford. People are saying, well, there was a big debate last week about, is this a cash-out fight for Crawford, or is he really doing it to enhance his stature in the boxing history books? Look, he said after the Spence fight, I got 2 more fights left. That's what he said. I believe he said 2. But whatever the number was, it was very few. So if it was 2, well, he's already got the Madrimov. Okay, he said something along the lines of 2 more fights, including the Spence rematch. That's what he was interested in. So we already got the Madrimov fight. Now we got the Canelo fight. The guy is ready to retire, seems like to me. So would he have done that 2 years ago against, or 3 years ago, whatever, against Golovkin, or in a hypothetical realm where he's still young? Would he have done that against Golovkin? No, I don't think so. And again, I'm speculating, obviously.
Also, Sid White, thank you for your super chat. No comments, but appreciate your super chat, man. Thank you. Sid White.
Why does nobody ever bring up that Crawford, when he was interviewed about the same fight 2 or 3 years ago, he says, "No, Canelo's too big, too much weight. I would end up losing. It's a bad matchup." What happened to that?
That's a good point, because now people could say, "Oh, go ahead, El Cuerpo."
I'm saying this this Crawford is getting it for the bag, man, which is good. Already making like 50 million from what I heard. So that anybody would do that, right? I mean, from his background, right, with the top rank and then being in limbo, right? So I'm more than sure, and I think he wants to go back to 154 if I'm not mistaken, or 160. They're like having those. He's wearing some sort of shirt that says like 4 times undisputed. So I think they're just trying to sell this fight. Doesn't mean he's gonna win, but I mean, I think they just want the bag. And I think I called into this show before, or no, I'm sorry, I did this stream before, and I said that that Bomac's gonna throw in the towel. La toalla, you say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You know,
possible.
and yeah, just remember, I don't know how many people have said it, but I think so. Or I'm sorry, not the toalla, but maybe on the stool, like in the late round, they're just gonna call it off once Canelo starts pounding on Bud, you know. So
By the way, if he throws in the towel, you're gonna see. You can't miss it on the camera because it's gonna be orange because it's gonna be covered with Cheeto dust. That's why. But listen, I just want to go back to something that Bucho said earlier. That last thing about Conte, because I think we're moving on from the Conte subject. It's the interesting thing about Conte. You said it right, Bucho, when you said, "Well, you know, how do you know he's asked for forgiveness, he's changed." And I'm thinking that's the argument then that we're supposed to take from Victor Conte. Hey guys, I've changed, believe me. It's like, would you? I mean, the guy is back in a business where he was caught in the first place. Again, I'm not saying he should be in jail for 100 years or he should be executed or hanged or whatever, but he shouldn't be. He's back in the same field in which he got caught in a world where he himself has admitted that testing sucks, in a world in which he's aligned himself with the testing agency VADA. And we've seen, and on top of that, he's misspoken or actually, you know, just flat out lied in a bunch of instances. I'm sorry, he's a liability. So just because, you know, his whole argument is, trust me, bro, I'm sorry, that doesn't cut the mustard.
Well, also one thing I noticed on social media is some people are saying, "Oh, Canelo's a cheater, like a cheater always a cheater," something like that. Even Conte said that Canelo cleared his name by providing, you know, proof that the meat that he ate was contaminated. But anyways, so they call Canelo a cheater, always a cheater. Yet Crawford decides to work with a cheater, right? A former cheater, but cheater is always a cheater. So these people have no standards, like no standards. They're hypocrites. It's ridiculous.
yeah, you know, let me say this though about Victor Conte, because I might be a bit hypocritical here or contradictory from things that I've said in the past, because I will give Conte credit that he did defend the whole Mexican thing with Clem Butero. I got to give him that credit because at least he was honest about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's honest. I mean, it's true, I guess, right? Oh, shit. Did we lose the stream? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, no, we lost him. Yeah, well, I can hear you. He jumped off. He dropped off. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, listen. If you forgave Conte, then you have to forgive Canelo, even though Canelo apparently wasn't cheating because he proved that he wasn't cheating. But still, let's just for the sake of argument say that he was cheating. I mean, then forgive him just the way you forgave Victor Conte. That's it. It's not that hard.
Moving, if you want to move on from that, Bucho, I know it's your show. It's
my
it's
show.
your party.
What do you mean? It's not, whatever you guys want to talk about, let's just
It's
talk
your
about
party.
it. I mean, but I think you're right.
Well, can I just bring up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I want to say.
How about the start there? Childhood, Bucho. How was your relationship with your mom and dad?
Oh,
all right. No, but listen, I just wanted to bring up real quick. So check out the Exodus files. They just posted a new video then. But I wanted to bring up the Jerron Ennis thing. I saw people were going at it on Discord about that. So apparently Rick Merrigan, who's Virgil Ortiz's manager, said that they never received an offer from Jerron Ennis for January, because the rumor was that there was going to be an Ennis versus Ortiz fight this coming January. Now Merrigan is saying we received no such offer. Does anyone know what's going on here? Because now it's the classic he said, she said.
Bullshit.
Nobody knows. Okay, well that's what I read. And look, when it comes to the he said she said type of story, he's ducking, he ain't ducking. You got to track down the articles to find out who said what, and then you have to take what these promoters and managers say with a grain of salt. Same thing with the fighters. So you got to put all that together. All I'll say is it's not a good look right now for Jaron Ennis because last year it was pretty well documented that he turned down certain fights against high-profile guys, multiple fights. So whenever something like that comes out now, again, you got to look at the facts. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's true that there's some hijinks afoot via Matchroom Promotions or even maybe Ennis' side telling Eddie Hearn, look, you got to say this. And Eddie's probably like, well, I don't think that's such a good idea, Boots. And then they're like, no, you're going to do what we say, motherfucker. And I don't know what's going on. Hopefully more comes out of this, but it's a fight that needs to happen. Even there's also rumblings that Murtazalia versus Lubin were going to fight. And then apparently there weren't something about money issues or not having no platform. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully the Sheik throws those guys a lifeline and says, yeah, Murtazalia Lubin, that sounds like a good fight. Let's make it happen. Why not?
Yeah, we need to see a lot of these guys at 154 fight. I even want to see Majrimov fight somebody. Hopefully, when it comes to Boots Ennis, he gets, I think he wants a tune-up. I think he's going to get a tune-up if I'm not mistaken. But after that tune-up, he really needs to fight one of these guys, the top guys at 154. There's no, like Sheik said, this isn't a charity. And I assume he also believes, as I do, that there's no time to waste over here. The division is packed, and we should be getting the best fights right fucking now.
Well, what about that, though? That Top Rank right now, a couple of weeks ago, remember that we talked about how Bob Arum had stated that they were going to put their product on multiple platforms, no longer having an exclusive deal with any one network. And I remember Steve Kim always used to say that the problem with HBO, which was especially redundant or apparent when Heyman came into the equation over at HBO in the late to early 2010, late 2000s, early 2010s, exclusive contracts. That was always the problem. Remember when Vernon Forrest beat Shane Mosley? And I don't know who was in charge of HBO at the time, but they decided to throw him in what the fuck? Somebody timed him out.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. That's crazy.
I just clicked on his name. It doesn't say he was timed out, so.
I don't know.
Well, anyways.
Maybe Sobers. He's the only one who can.
Continue.
I think Sobers is up to no good here. We gotta keep an eye on him. But when Vernon Forrest, real quick, when Vernon Forrest beat Shane Mosley, HBO, somebody in their infinite wisdom, decided to give him an exclusive contract. And what happens in his next fight, he ends up losing to Ricardo Mayorga, and then he loses to Mayorga in the rematch. And then I think he got injured or something. They just let it lapse the contract or something. I don't know what happened, but we didn't see Vernon Forrest for a while after that. So Roy Jones was the same thing. They wanted Roy Jones so bad because he was one of the top 3 pound-for-pound guys. He was a marvel. He was a virtuoso. And what happened? They had him on contract, under contract, I believe, and he would fight, sanitation workers, police officers, and
I think he fought my uncle.
Really? Are you sure?
If you were to run right now. Yeah, but I mean, so it's the same thing now. Steve Kim's written a lot about what happened with ESPN. He always used to say that the former Showtime honcho, the one that ended up passing away, I always forget his name. Not Hirschman. It was the guy way before him. Anyway, that dude had once told him, look, listen, HBO is not our main concern. If ESPN ever gets into the boxing game, they can beat HBO and us combined.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that was a different time. That was way before social media. That was way before apps. That was when TV still mattered. It's a different time now. We got applications. We've got, with these apps now, you can pretty much remember when I still remember when we only used to have 2 sports channels if you had cable here in Canada, or then 3. It became the most. It was 3. It was 1 in French, 1 in English, and the programming differed. And then you had a 3rd network. They've barely showed any boxing. Sometimes they would show Fox Sports boxing fights on. And then on the other one, TSN, sometimes it would show oftentimes it would show the HBO fights, but it wasn't a sure bet that you would watch them. Now you get the app, you got TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to watch baseball at a specific time, just turn on the app. You want to watch MLB. Yeah, it's different. So the apps have really changed the game. You've got all these promoters now. Most of them are on the Zone. And what's Top Rank going to do? Are they going to go to the Zone? No, it seems like they just want to farm out their talent to other platforms. But eventually, they're going to have to do something. And it's quite surprising to see Top Rank, who've been around for 50 years, in this type of position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening with Top Rank. It seems like they're out of touch with what the what's it called now? The in demand style of boxing. I think you told me, or I read somewhere that they think that they have they want to sell their fights, the old fights. How do you call that? The archive,
The film
Their
archive.
catalog, their video catalog. Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, don't they know that you can just find any fight you want anywhere? Yeah,
Exactly.
They think
Well,
they
that's
have
what they use to price themselves out.
they think they have a pot of gold or something. Like, we have all these old fights. Like you can find all of those on YouTube, guy. Like, seriously.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
it's
the
not
old
like
ones.
it's not like with it's not
Yeah.
Howard Stern just recently people were making a big deal that Howard Stern now the series chose not to renew their contract with him. So finally, after what is it now, 45 years or something, as he's been on the air, he might finally end up having to cut it loose unless he goes to some sort of podcasting platform. But for a while, the big thing with him was when he negotiated with Sirius Satellite Radio was, hey, you get to have all my archives, the tapes, the old shows, all of that. And okay, then I understood it was a big deal because how else were you going to get the tapes, right? There was no YouTube, or YouTube was just about to start. But if you really wanted to find Howard Stern archives, you had to go through mailing lists or certain forums. It was more complicated. What I'm trying to get at is now you go on YouTube, or if you're part of the invite-only boxing torrents, you can find pretty much any fight you want. This whole thing
How
of
do you know
Top
about
Rank living
that?
in the 1990s. How do I know about what?
The invite-only boxing torrent sites.
I mean, come on. If you're a boxing fan who needs fights, because you look at this stuff all the time, you need to know
Someone
about it. But
investigate
anyway,
BDA, please.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about your porn list.
I said
history.
boxing, not invite porn. You fucking. And by the way, porn. You don't even. You guys think that to find all the porn you want, you got to go to invite-only forums? It's all over the place. Porn. Let me just say it again. Porn. But the point is this. Yeah. So Top Rank. It seems like whoever's in charge over there still thinks it's 1999. Your video library just ain't worth that much right now.
Yeah, because you got other competitors, free competitors.
Yeah, I can't believe that was an ending point. And by the way, Amok, it seems to me like what Top Rank wanted to do was they wanted to stretch out whatever network they were negotiating with. They wanted to stretch them out. And I don't know. They think.
I think they're looking at the small picture, to be honest.
Listen, things have changed since Bob Arms taking a step back more and more, a couple more steps back. From being the head honcho over at Top Rank, it seems like Top Rank is not going in the right direction. They put a lot of their marbles on Shakur Stevenson, trying to make him into the next Floyd Mayweather, the next pound-for-pound star. And how the hell is he going to be a star if he's not? He's unentertaining. He's boring to watch. And people say, well, how can you say that after what happened with Cepeda? Again, I got to rewind and remind people of this. The best
you bring up a good point, BDA.
I know I do.
Since he's been in the business for so long, wouldn't he have a successor?
Well, it's Todd DeBuff, which is Steph's son or son-in-law. I forget which one. That's the guy that's in charge now. And again, I suspect, what a coincidence, as soon as that dude started taking more and more control, taking the reins more from Bob Arum, we started seeing a lot of this fascination with trying to find the next Mayweather. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe they do, and to a certain degree, there is a degree of truth, rather, to it, that, yeah, if you want to have a star, he has to be, for the most part, an American, because the media tends to favor the American fighters. So I it makes sense, but the fact that they couldn't realize from the get-go that Shakur Stevenson wasn't gonna be the stellar, entertaining star that they thought, I don't know, it boggles the mind. But they should find some guys that are entertaining, but that also have pound-for-pound qualities. That's why maybe they're starting to cream their pants over Emiliano Vargas, because they're looking at a guy who's clean-cut, young, presentable. He can crack, he can box, and he's entertaining on top of that. So hopefully they don't screw that career over. Oh, let's not forget Haney too. There was a point where they wanted Haney as the next guy. Remember that? They had him for the Lomachenko fight and the Kambosos fight. And by the way, let me just say this: Shakur Stevenson. I said this after the Hartunonian fight. If you're looking for people have too high expectations of the guy, to the point where that's why a lot of people predicted, oh, he's going to stop Cepeda. He's going to whoop him. He didn't whoop the guy. he didn't put belt to us like they
It was
expected.
a very close fight. I had it a draw. Truly a draw.
Okay, well,
actually.
I had
well,
him
there you go.
losing.
I didn't have it quite. Okay. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second.
I had to
Give me a
fucking
second. Give me a
lose.
second. I thought Shakur Stevenson won. I haven't rewatched the fight. However, what I'm trying to get at here is the
Yeah, but
Shakur
you were
Stevenson from
drunk.
the-
You were drunk. We know it.
No, I wasn't. The Shakur Stevenson for the Hortunonian fight and the Cepeda fight, that's the best you're going to get in terms of entertainment. He's not going to suddenly turn into Roy Jones or prime Sugar Shane Mosley where he's knocking people out with
Trash,
speed and
he's
power.
trash.
Yeah, he's not. Well, no, he's not trash, but he's not.
He needed
what,
he needed
what they
more
were trying to
win.
make him out to be.
I don't even think the fight against Cepeda was exciting. I don't know. Some people are saying, "Oh, he's too toe to toe with Cepeda." No, he didn't. He stood on the rope, shelled up, threw one, two
stood,
shots,
yeah.
like pot shots, and then when Cepeda got tired, he started teeing off on him in the middle of the ring. But even that wasn't
with
even
slaps.
exciting.
He threw some fucking slaps and badoink, badoink. I just read an article today about that fight, and they said dominant. Shakur's dominant win over Zepeda. It's like, bro, all they're doing is brainwashing the public so they can sell this shit bag to some actual decent fighter. That's what's happening with that guy. That guy's getting cashed out. He's at the end of his career. Like, people don't even know it. That dude's
If
at the
you
very
think-
end of his career.
Yeah, what are the commentators in the media? All these people who want to hype up this guy gonna say? Are they gonna say it was a boring fight? I wasn't really impressed with Shakur. No, they're gonna say, oh look, he didn't run. As if that's supposed to be something we should
Hey, it's
celebrate.
ridiculous.
It's like these people in that Maury show. Remember, guys, Maury? I take care of my child. I take care of my kids. Well, you should take care of your kids. We're not gonna give you any credit for that shit. That's what you're supposed to fucking do.
Oh, well, look. Oh, wow.
So-
Shakur
so
threw
you're
a
saying
punch.
it's
Oh, my
like
God, he threw a
a-
punch.
You're saying it's like a moral victory, like when Berlanga
Yes.
survived against 12 rounds versus Canelo.
Oh, look, Shakur's throwing a punch. My God.
He didn't
Shakur's
roll.
throwing a punch.
He stood his ground. Like it was stood his ground. What was the
stood?
other option? What was the other option?
He stood his ground.
What was
Dude,
the
I
other
saw a guy
option?
bent
Run?
over. Dude, I saw a dude bent over on the ropes.
Yeah, that's
bent
not standing
over,
your
not
ground.
even standing. He was falling on the
He was
ropes.
bent over, shelling up. I mean, waiting for the storm to fucking be over.
He's
So he could
bent
do
over,
something.
Man, and
stretching him out.
there's shots leaking through all over the place. He's getting
He was
this
before.
dude's pump. This dude's pump jabbing right into his stomach. He's got this dumbass Philly shell eating these shots to the stomach. They're like, that didn't land. He's in a Philly shell, bro. Nothing matters after that. It don't matter if he gets hit while he's in the shell, bro. He's in the shell, so he's winning with his back up on the ropes.
Because the beautiful
You know that-
defense. Look at that. He's shelling
It's that
up.
beautiful defense. Look at that. He's shelled up. He's up in the corner all fight long. He's winning.
Yo, BDS, I think
Going on. Yo,
I think the
Almost
reason
not
why
funny,
like
dude.
Top Rank and like companies like this are failing with boxing is because they don't realize it's global now. It's no longer just an American thing.
It was always well. You're right. Yeah, it's not always. I'm exaggerating.
No, but now
for a
it's
long
like
time,
it's the most of the money's in the UK and Japan. Most of the money's not here anymore, bro. That's
No,
the
they
issue.
were doing the Timothy Bradley. That's why. But
Timothy.
yeah, that's a good point. Hey, by the way, speaking of global, hold on. Speaking of global, speaking of global food, I was watching your stream. I think it was the last stream, and you were watching all these. One of the things I like about Food's streams, and I encourage everybody to go check him out at the Real Food TV. Is that he watches all these other videos that I don't really have the time nor the wherewithal to watch. He watches them all, and some of these guys have weird opinions. Like you were watching one guy, I think it was a British dude, and he was saying that he was giving his reasons or outlining his reasons why Crawford can beat Canelo. Actually, no, he said he's gonna beat Canelo, and one of them was he does everything Bivol does but better. Do you remember that one
God.
that you were playing that video?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, I remember that.
Could you elaborate?
I remember all this dumb shit. He's like, Crawford, why couldn't Crawford beat Canelo? I mean, he does what Bivol does, only better. That's what he said. And I just like, I pull my hair out. I'm like, dude, the guys they just make this shit up. They're not actually watching this guy.
still
I
have
think a lot of people are saying that. A lot of guys are saying
guys
that.
fights. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, dude, the guy's 38 years old, all right, bro? Watch him go in that ring, and his leg's gonna be stiff as a board, and they're gonna say, "Well, he got old overnight."
Yeah.
Like, no one's actually factoring that in. That one simple thing. Say, bro, there's so many factors against Terrence Crawford in this fight, and the guy, everyone I see is just saying he's good. It's just. It blows them away if you say Canelo's gonna win. I saw this guy Blue Blood, right? And he has a video, and who's trainer? Clarissa Shields' trainer said that Canelo's cherry picking Crawford. He said basically it's an easy fight. Blue Blood says in his description of his video in big print, bizarre take. bizarre take that this guy said that this is an easy fight for Canelo. I mean, this is cuckoo world over here. I mean, everything, if you really factor everything in, it's really all against Crawford. I think that the safe bet is Canelo.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's cherry picking. Why are all these guys, all these, I have the list. Nico Ali Walsh, Tony Bellew, I believe. I think it was Tony Bellew, just came out and picked Crawford. Add that one to the list. I think Roy Jones picking him. I know Shakur Stevenson, Clarissa Shields are picking him.
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas, Bradley, all these Usyk, they're all saying, so how is it a cherry pick if this guy is so good and Canelo's willing to fight him? How is that a cherry pick?
I mean, he gets 100% credit after all this shit. Because come on, everybody's picking him to win.
He's not. Listen,
that's what I've been saying.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. If Canelo wins, because I do think Crawford has a chance. I'm not one of these people that's going around going, it's either or. No, it's a fight. It's a fight between two guys that are around the same height.
Wait, you got to get on the fence, right? It's the safest place to be.
I'm not on the fence. Well, I'm going to make a pick, but what I'm saying is these people that I lost my train of thought. But yeah, these people are picking Crawford and they're saying he's so good, he's so much better. I'm thinking, okay, are you going to give Canelo credit? And I already told people this. Don't expect them to. You're going to be disappointed. Just go by what you see. Forget about what these other people say, because you already see some of these predictions show that a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. So after the fight, they're still not going to know what they're talking about, most of them. So why do you care what they think? That's what I've been trying to tell people.
No, I know.
Exactly.
We have a boxing show. We have to address this. And we shouldn't care, obviously, but man, come on.
Wait, this is a boxing show?
I would like to expose these people.
This was a hangout.
Amok, before we continue, because I don't want to forget. John Gonzalez, thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate that, John Gonzalez. You should jump on the show, man. It's been a while, man, since we've talked. He says happy birthday. And yeah, man, appreciate that, John Gonzalez. Jump on. Shoot.
Oh, whose birthday is it?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bucho, Mr. Bucho. Okay, happy birthday, man. Feliz cumpleaños, as we say.
Gracias.
Hey, I was gonna. Let me finish saying, because I had cut out. Actually, you were right. I had like a Wi-Fi problem, and I didn't know that this program automatically boots you out. But I wanted to just go back on the whole Conte and SNAC thing, and I kind of wanted to retract some of my theories on what would benefit SNAC on the long run, because it is at times fun to kind of like troll against the whole SNAC thing. But as we all know, in this game, nothing's perfect. Everybody's on some stuff, and I'm cool with that, to be honest. There's debate about what we call cheating, but as far as Conte, because to be honest, man, like pancreatic cancer, that's like one of the worst you can get. And before, I was saying this even like last year, that perhaps they might want to give like Canelo an adverse finding after Canelo wins, just for like notoriety for SNAC. They can do a rematch, of course, but I just think that at this stage, and best of luck and health to Mr. Conte, but I don't think Conte would do anything malicious as to give Canelo an adverse finding, as he's already had one before, right? So I want to retract on that. And then regarding the whole, should Canelo win and get credit, I think one narrative might be is that when Bomac actually stops the fight, some fans might say, well, Crawford wanted to continue or done more. Let's blame it on Bomac, like one type of theme like that. But I still stand my ground that either Bomac Bomac obviously is going to throw in the towel. They're going to stop the fight, but by design too, because again, there's a lot of money at stake for Crawford. If he wants to come back within a year, he's got to not sustain a lot of damage. Who knows who he's going to fight at 154 or 160.
I heard Bomac's going to let
Bucho, are you writing predictions down?
Yes,
he's got to raise the.
They're trying to raise
popularity.
Okay,
they're trying to make the sport infamous again, so they're going to let Canelo kill him. Bomac's be like, I'm sorry, Bo, I'm sorry. And Turkey's going to be pointing down with his thumb. No!
I mean, it's possible. Listen, I want to talk about that. Okay, so many things. Okay, first of all, John Gonzalez, thank you for your juicy super chat. Another super chat from John. He says, for Bucho, thank you, man. John, you know where that money's going? Booze. He's going for booze. But I'm not going to lie.
Exactly.
Yeah, but thank you, John. Jump on the fucking show, John. It's been a long time. I was going to say about, before somebody says anything, John. Oh,
stick your head out, John. It'll be seamless.
John.
Commando. Right? Was it Commando?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Come on, Bennett. Let's party.
I want to die like John Bennett. No, what's his name? John Bennett. What's his name? What's his name? No,
Just Bennett. It was
Bennett.
Bennett.
It was not the first name. No, I want to die like the other guy who
Bennett.
gets.
You want
Why
them
am I talking about I wanna
to
die like
impale
I'm
you
crazy?
on a they want to impale you on a steam pipe?
Yeah, because that was funny as hell.
That's fucked up.
No, wait. The Vessel said something about predictions. Al Cuerpo, do you want to give us your prediction? Because we're gonna write it down.
Yeah, I think I had said it before in a stream that I called in last week, but I said that Bomac's going to stop it in the 9th or 10th round. I mean, to even do that, I think is bold. But yeah, that's what I've got. And the reason also is Canelo has to show up. And I got an interesting take for you guys, is that as much as criticism Canelo gets with the Skull fight, to me, that lazy performance was no different than the Amir Khan fight. I thought Canelo's motivation to do something, you know, he actually had to turn it up, in the 6th or 7th round? I don't remember the Khan fight when he sparked him out. But that version of Canelo at 155 was the exact same time of performance against Skull. And so what does that mean? All the fights in between, did Canelo show up better in other fights? Of course. So fans got to give benefit of doubt that Canelo is not going to look anything like the Skull fight or even before that. And I think sometimes fans forget that they don't give fighters benefit of doubt to be lazy. And I think Canelo,
that shit is all hopium. This is why they're jumping back like fucking 13 years. Well, look at this fight. He lost that one. Well, he's dehydrated. They'll take that part out, right? Dude, you got to jump back. Yeah. Exactly. Look, if you got to jump back 13 years, then you know they got a problem. Then that's just copium. That's all that is. Like, go towards the, his previous fight. Look at it, the Skull fight. Like, bro, he won like every round. Go one fight before that one. Oh, shit. He looks too good there. Let's go back one other fight. Oh, shit. It looks too good. Let's go all the way back to Floyd when he's dehydrated,
Yeah. No, I made a video about Crawford's worst moments, but it's basically worst moments part 1. Because I talked about the Postal fight and the Kell Brook fight, but then some people were saying in the comment section, oh, those fights took place a long time ago, which is true, right? But on my next video, I'm focusing on the Madrimov fight, the Sean Porter fight, Kavaliuskas, that's a bit old, but still, focus on more recent fights if you want. And tell me, what's the excuse then? What's the excuse for Crawford looking terrible against Madrimov? Please tell me. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the breakdowns are fucking stupid as hell. That's why I make fun of them on my show. It's stupid. Right, and one of the reasons I look at a lot of that is that's the broader opinion of these people is what you see in a lot of these videos. That's actually the most common opinion in the boxing world right now, is all that Terrence Crawford worship I see. I think it's more common.
Has the referee been announced yet?
No. Oh, no.
I heard it's Sean. I think it's Sean King, I heard.
Sure,
you know who Sean King is?
Yeah, the white, black guy, or?
Yes, of course. It's going to either be him or Max Kellerman, I heard.
Yeah.
That should be funny.
Yeah, the special guest referee.
Rumble, young man, rumble. He could, like, Max Kellerman could do his rap song.
He's going to come in rap. He's the one that's going to accompany Terrence Crawford, right, in the entrance. They're singing.
Yeah. They couldn't get Eminem.
I think I have
they got the next best thing, Rumble, young man, rumble. And he could come in dressed up like early, like mid-90s kind of hip-hop kind of attire. That'd be cool.
I had the song somewhere here. I can't find it. But anyways.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I have like a clip of it. Like a sound on my soundboard, but...
Yeah, it's a good song.
That's not it. Anyways, what was I going to say? Fuck, I forgot. Hey, we have Recognize. Jump in, man. We have Severino. Who else do we have in here? We have a bunch of people. Yep.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
What's up?
What's up?
What are you doing, man? I just let you guys, hit it up. I was just watching before I joined in the new Exodus Files thing.
I saw a tiny bit of it earlier. I saw a little.
Yeah, I haven't watched like the entire thing. Like I paused it like around the 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
He actually had a name in there. He had a name in there that I didn't even know was part of SNAC. He had Kung Lee. You know who Kung Lee is?
Yeah, from the.
You didn't know that?
MMA.
He had fucking. I didn't even know he was a snack fighter. And Kung Lee came in juiced to the gills in the UFC. He had just joined Snack.
He
didn't
looked
know that.
like Bruce Lee.
like an action
I'm
figure.
gonna be honest, I forgot that he was
almost-
on Snack, dude.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even know. I didn't remember.
Strike Force, right? Before that.
Yeah, Strike
And
Force.
he went,
and
he
then
went to the
UFC.
UFC, then he joined Snack, and he was enormous. Like he
Right.
became like a fucking Incredible Hulk. And then so that he put that together. I saw it on that guy, the Exodus shit. I was like, I didn't even remember that. I didn't even put that together that he was another Snack guy. So there you go. There's another guy to add to the list. Another drug cheat that was with Snack.
I mean, it's many names like in the Snack thing. Behind the scenes, he just like they were part of another like institution like baseball. There were many names that if you go and watch the Canseco documentary, you will see very, very familiar names into that list.
I'm talking about post Balco, like after that whole.
No,
shit.
yeah, but they're still working with this guy,
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, the fall guy was Conte, But there's many guys sparkling around, many of his disciples like Memo Heredia and the guy who works with the blonde guy, the guy from the UK. He's been rumors that he gives shakes with PEDs inside of them, just like the rumors of
the trainer of
El
what's
Bonito.
crazy is
What
that-
was his name?
Davis.
Ben Davison.
Davison. Yeah.
And yeah, he has like the same rumors that Freddie Roach had like back in the days. I don't know if you remember that Freddie Roach had rumors that all his fighters were like on PEDs, because if you remember all his fighters and all his camps used to look like fucking Terminators, like what's his name, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao once in a while, many of those guys. Even Amir Khan, looks with a little bit of definition when he was around him. Oddly enough, he was with him and with what's his name, Bomac, and those like both of those fights, they look fucking jizzle.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something there.
But yeah,
There's no evidence of anything. It's all speculation.
Well,
It's so hard to prove, man, because
not
it's not like
really.
they're popping positive
Not
or
really.
anything like that.
In social media, they'll be boasting about it indirectly.
Yeah,
which
they
is
be
fucking
boasting,
odd.
but it's more about like he said, she said,
The way I
Yeah,
see
but
it is that
when it
there
comes
were-
from the horse's mouth and they're doing indirects,
yeah.
I mean, you don't think that's suspicious at all?
Of course, it's suspicious, but
They're-
the thing
they're way
is,
more-
you have to go over what you see, because all these guys, depending of like the managers and the promoters, that they're well connected. Like they won't let one of these guys pop positive, especially if they bring in a lot of revenue.
The reason I bring it up is because these guys for weeks have been talking about how Reynoso is guilty by association, right? Everybody connects him. Everyone is just guilty. So this is why I keep bringing up the Snack thing, and this is why you see all these stones being tossed back at Terrence Crawford, is because his camp, the Snack camp, has been tossing around accusations for I don't even know what is it, a few months,
Yeah.
maybe
I
a few
think
years
to
now.
your point, I think it's something along the lines of a media war. Like
Yeah.
your fighters are caught up, and you guys are. I think this is just the answer, but at the end of the day, it's not like they have been popping dirty for like actual like PEDs. They've been banned from SARMs for the most part. Like Valdez, it was I think it was like an antidiuretic or some shit, like to make weight.
Yeah.
They were SARMs, they were not PEDs. Like people fail to understand like what the huge difference between those two. And also, as I mentioned before, it's more along the lines of a media war. I don't really believe like none of the rumors. And even though Reynoso is not like a dietitian either way, he's not really responsible of his fighters making weight.
Severino,
But
the difference is, wait, Severino, the difference is that Eddie Reynoso has never been caught giving PEDs, but Conte has. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Remember that.
It's just the gym.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of a response of like the Snack rumors, because the thing is those rumors are increasing, and because the thing is people watch and listen to podcasts like this one, and people see like what's going on, and especially when they start like asking questions like how the fuck this guy's been making weight for so fucking long. You know what I mean? Somebody who's
Yeah.
obviously big, because sometimes you can cap
They're
off your
using
weight
ancient
because
Chinese remedies of herbs.
Sí, claro.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah.
I'm giving them the ancient Chinese secret. It's not PEDs.
Yeah, they come in front of the needles, right? But either way, but the thing is, if you understand like how PED works, it's really hard like to hide. I think you can get away if you like some type of cash cow. I'm not really one of those guys like says like they let everybody use it, because only the guys with money will have an advantage. And
All right. So fuck all these accusations. Let's just, stop. You're right. Why is so? This is a problem. I think somebody mentioned it. The fact that the SNAC is pointing fingers at other people.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah, because the thing is,
let VADA take care of it. Let whoever authorities have to take care of it. You are not involved. Don't say anything. Just keep quiet. Keep doing your thing. But no, the fact that they have to point a finger to me sounds like something going on there.
Sounds suspect.
It's like look.
but you know how it is, man.
Look over there. Don't look.
They're projecting.
Again, it's just to generate drama, man, and you know how it is, man. Because at the end,
it started because they were trying to diminish the loss that Crawford's about to have. That's where this all started. They're like, where's the drug cheat? He's a drug cheat. He's a drug cheat. And so when he knocks him out, where's the drug cheat anyway? That's the idea behind that. But it backfired on them. Now everyone's pointing fingers back at that SNAC camp. If you guys have noticed, you got Shakur doing damage control.
Then you have Conte saying that he doesn't want Memo Heredia to be involved in the sport because he's going to do something that's
ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, BD, what exactly did he say about Memo?
He said that he has the access and knowledge to use untraceable, undetectable PEDs.
Right. But he
that
doesn't have that
direct
access.
quote. Direct tweet I posted it. Yeah.
So
but
exactly.
Conte doesn't have it.
But Doc doesn't have it. And he has a close relationship with VADA apparently. So and then who would want to join SNAC? In my opinion, that's just I'm asking. Like seriously, you're a boxer. Why do you need to go with a guy who used to cheat? It's like everybody's now blaming.
Used to.
Yo.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, man. I mean, the thing is, here's the thing, Bucho. It's really hard because at the end of the day, it's a sponsorship, and it's really hard in this D&H to like let go of sponsorships.
Okay.
Especially when one of them sponsor you, like it just like rest of the brands will follow. And more, they give you protein and supplements for free.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you know, man, but being an athlete is fucking expensive.
I don't know how much they're paying, but yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense because you got a guy like a
Bucho is a high level athlete. Okay, he knows how much it costs.
This dude over here is making millions upon millions of dollars. He's going to damage his reputation because he's going to get a couple of bucks from Victor Conte for a supplement ad. I don't think so.
I mean,
Bucho, did you listen earlier, bro? Listen, fool.
You know what I mean? But
listen, fool, I understand, bro. But here's the thing, man. You can lose your reputation or never get caught, have an advantage, and still get the bag.
He's not getting
all these dudes are be getting away with
because the economic, benefit. It's more of like you actually think.
And if you look at the conspiracy a little deeper, you're gonna notice that all SNAC fighters they all fight on the bottom. That's why some of the guys like you will never leave the PBC because they know what's up. Because PBC always gonna run by VADA. Because of the Mayweather influences and shit like that.
Yeah, can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the whole thing that when you talk about this guy Victor Conte, if you watch that Netflix about him, that Netflix documentary about him, when they do interviews about him, he's not apologetic about it. He's not remorseful. He's actually very boisterous, dude, and he's very he's in your face about it. And he says, "Yeah, I can beat it again. I beat it before." And I don't think he really ever technically got caught with steroids or distributing them. It was more the athletes kind of like succumbing to pressure and kind of snitching on themselves, right? And then they kind of went through his trash and they found some receipts where he was writing down people's names. And that's kind of, where that's the only thing where they kind of had him nailed to the wall. And he kind of said, all right, whatever. He kind of just went along with it. He made a little deal. And then he does like 4 months. And then he gets out and he helps build VADA, out of his own mouth. He like introduces some of the people together who run it. So now he only exclusively works with them. through his company, like you guys are saying. So if you're one of his fighters and you're fighting him, they're gonna make you go through VADA, and they're saying, hey, we're trying to keep the sport clean. But it's like he was attacked by the establishment before, but then he came out of prison and he became a part of the establishment, and now he's working from within it, and he can kind of he can make little loopholes for his guys here and there, like how he needs to. And when you hear him, he's like he has Duper's delight, right? He laughs about it in people's face. Like he says oddly specific things, like when he was talking about Ryan Garcia. Like they weaponize these failed drugs.
Or SNAC then, because here's the thing, man. I actually know people like that work there. Like I got like the whole kit and everything, but it's so fucking many pills, man. Like make you feel like a fucking diabetic. But it actually works. I actually stay with a couple of those, like the. Let me see if I remember the names, because they have like crazy ass thing, like the Aero Vitamite or some shit. It's like a pre-workout, but you don't feel like the URI effect. Vitalize is really good. The CMA is really good. And that's it. Because those actually
for sure,
work.
man. Yeah, I mean, if you're also on the schedule there, man, they've got you all prepped up, man. You get nice sleep recovery. I mean, no doubt, man. A SNAC program would be really nice. It'd be really, really nice.
It's amazing, man. Dude, I have put like a little bit of muscle, and the thing is, I don't use it like consistently, because again, it's so many fucking pills that it's really hard to use like on a everyday basics, especially when you eat as much as I do. But man, when I train, I use that shit. The only one I use like more consistent, the CMA, which is helping to rest. I feel fucking amazing the next day. I don't feel soreness. I train like I feel full of energy like the next morning. Especially now, like I'm into my 30s. I'm 31 now.
Oh, we hear you. Yeah.
He sounds wrong, man.
He's talking about how he takes PEDs from SNAC.
You sound like you just came back from gooning. What are you doing, Bucho?
Bucho, I thought we were gonna do predictions. What happened?
Again?
Yeah, just go ask around.
Canelo by murder. Okay, kill you. Ready?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Bucho?
So,
Yeah.
I thought he picked Crawford.
No, that was Jose. I don't think so, because like a few days before, me and my brother, we were watching Canelo Triple G1, and he says that Canelo won. And look, listen, I watched that fight many times, and I rewatched it with my brother, and I thought Canelo won the second one after watching it before and giving it to Golovkin. What I'm basically saying, I don't think he's like a Canelo hater, like 100%, or that he's just trying to troll. I just think that maybe he legitimately thinks that Canelo has regressed and that Crawford has a real chance. Because he's a pretty good, if that's a term, I would consider like a unbiased boxing fan. And I don't know.
You said Canelo Triple G1, right?
Did I say one? I meant to say two.
Part two. Okay. Yeah, because that was like a Flaco Canelo, man. Look at Canelo in that weight, man. That's not a 168 Canelo. So I wouldn't compare Triple G to a Crawford weigh-in. I mean, or maybe, I don't know, if you guys want to say a Crawford at 168, maybe the same thing as a Golovkin at a 160 weigh-in, but I mean, the resistance is different, man, at the higher weights. That's what fans should remember, that Canelo's already seasoned at a more comfortable weight.
Yeah, and I gave a lot of credit to Golovkin. Like I kept saying, no, well, Golovkin needs space. He needs to take a step back in order to throw his mid-range shots. But really, really being unbiased, I thought Canelo was pushing Triple G back. Now that I rewatched it, it's true. Whether you want to say he was taking a step back to get distance, yeah, we know Golovkin got a granite chin, but it doesn't mean that Canelo still didn't impose, you could say, some physical strength in that fight. And look what happened in the third. But granted, we know that Golovkin was past his prime when those two fights happened. It was not what the first was in respect to Golovkin being more closer to his prime. No, but I'm just only saying that just to get an idea why my brother where that if it's coming from legitimate hate. But when it comes to Crawford Canelo, in my opinion, I think Canelo, and I said it before, he's going to remain in place. He's not going to try to do two actions. He's going to cut one out. Instead of trying to swerve a punch and countering, he's just going to block it, remain in place, and keep his eyes open and counter Crawford like he did Charlo, Berlanga, and Munguia. He's going to sneak a punch in, and we know Crawford doesn't have the greatest resistance. And what I mean, he's going to sneak a punch, he's going to sneak a perfect punch. Also, Amir Khan style, perfect punch. He's not going to care whether the optics, whoa, look, he's got great defense. Canelo's got an iron chin. He's going to remain in place, keep his eyes open, peer through the center of his gloves. And when Crawford gets to get too cocky and overextends himself, bam, Canelo's going to throw a quick punch. Because this has been mentioned by a lot of people, and it is true. Canelo's got quick hands. Never mind the feet. The upper body.
How would you evaluate Crawford in the exchanges? And who would win in an exchange between Canelo and Crawford?
Well, BDA brought it up the other day, and I was thinking about it too, but I couldn't quite contextualize it. In the exchanges, well, I think that Crawford will throw more of a 2-3 punch combination because Canelo's only throwing like one at a time. But remember, Canelo's throwing single shots at consistently. He'll throw one. Basically, he's not resetting, but he'll go 1, 1, 1, 1, and when you add it up, he's throwing a good amount of punches. But he chooses to throw a single shot at a time, spaced between 2-3 seconds apart, instead of throwing 2-3 punches within the same sequence. So when you throw a combination, you risk more. So does Crawford really want to sit in the pocket and throw a 2-3 punch combination all the while Canelo's trying to throw one punch and time the 3-punch combination? Right? Because now
that's going to be a problem for Crawford, right?
Because when you say the way to counter fighters to throw with him. So if you're throwing 3-1, you have more of a chance to catching the other fighter when he's throwing 3 and you're only throwing 1, right? So Canelo's, that's why he does that. He's throwing ones. Well, he's not throwing 1, then 2-3 seconds later, let me say 10 seconds later, he's throwing another. No, he's throwing 1, 2, 3, 5 seconds apart, right? He's just
also
looking
a lot
to
of
place
times he's also having to time your movements to land these singular shots because those guys are moving everywhere. You can't throw a combination with a guy's moving like that.
So in other words, Canelo seek and destroy. He knows what his intentions are clear. What he's trying to do. He's not trying to gauge and what does he call it? Like he's not trying to cajole with you. Oh, let me see where's the opening. Let me do a little boxing here. No, he's going in there and he's throwing the sledgehammer. He knows where he wants to put it. If he throws it in the arm, it's with an intention to break the other fighters, break the shoulders down where they can't carry the high guard any longer when they start dropping their hands and stuff. So yeah, but does that come with? Does that mean that every style can't be beat? Yeah, it's got its certain limitations. If you do that, that gives opportunity if Crawford survives and does land a 2-3 punch combination and scores 2 punches out of the 3 or and whatnot, he has the opportunity to steal the rounds, right? And maybe win a decision, 60-40, 75-35. But no, clearly Canelo's a bigger guy. He's
Gonzalo, what do you think about people who claim that Canelo's shot hold on, we got a super chat here. Give me 2 seconds, Gonzalo, because I'm gonna read this or I'll forget. We have JXV88. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for your super chat. He says, has the most of the training I've seen Crawford do so far for Canelo is fighting inside pad work. Okay, it's interesting. Seems like he's training to be offensive. Okay, so he's saying he's doing a lot of pad work, so he's gonna be on the inside and he's gonna be offensive. You guys, do you think that's it's a possibility? It's a plan. Crawford fighting on the inside. Flores.
I think that's a horrific.
Sugar Ray Leonard against Hagler. Shoe shining.
Nah, man, he's getting used to
I
the
don't
weight.
think his inside game is that good, to be honest.
Nah,
Really?
that's just getting used to the weight right now. It's really nothing to simulate.
All right,
He's got to
I
test
think
his
that's
speed, man.
go ahead.
I think that's a pretty bad idea to try to implement your weight on the guy who's naturally bigger than you and who's known for being more of a finisher than you. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you can say Crawford has like a higher knockout ratio, but who's it really against? Well, you can say that for both, but Canelo's been more capable of taking out and damaging bigger men than Crawford ever has.
I agree.
And
But
we saw him.
some people are saying that Crawford is a faster guy, quicker guy, so he's gonna be able to like throw his flurries, throw his punches or whatever, and then move out of the take a step back. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, he could land more, but how effective are those shots going to be?
Well, not only that, I would say the way Crawford throws his punches, he leaves himself open. So it doesn't matter how fast they are. There's an opening. It's a little bit like American. He was very fast, but the guy, he just let his chin up in the air. So who cares how fast you are? You're going to get caught.
Exactly. And the question is, does Crawford want to commit to that, right? So, yeah, 100%, man. Crawford likes, I wouldn't say likes, but when he starts to get into dog mode, he starts getting clipped more. So, I don't know. I'm just seeing a Jermell Charlo performance, and I think Canelo's just going to step it even harder than the way he did Jermell Charlo. And as I said, I stand my ground. I think Bomac's going to stop the fight in the later rounds.
That's a possibility. Maybe in the corner in between rounds they can stop it. Shane Coughlin, thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate it. We also have another super chat from Omni King 13. Thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I was gonna say something about the exchanges. I think Crawford would lose in the exchanges. He leaves himself wide open, and Canelo, like Gonzalo said, he's not slow. He's pretty quick. He has good timing. That hasn't gone away really, and I think he's just gonna catch him at some point. Go ahead, somebody else.
Yeah, as everybody's saying, it sounds accurate, man. For me, the closest guys that I gotta, I guess, compare to a Crawford as of late would be maybe a combination between John Ryder and Billy Joe, just because they're southpaws and just seeing the type of error or mistakes that they did. As we were saying before about the laziness between Canelo. I mean, I'll admit, for me, I think Canelo has been coasting at times. I mean, whether it's debatable if he's bored or he's just not really pushing up to the best he could. But the fight he did it with Ryder in Jalisco, I think he by design he fought like that just to go the full 12, Or I'm completely wrong. Ryder had more dog in him, and he could sustain that type of beating. He was never the same after that. And then you got Billy Joe Saunders, who he's a natural. I don't even know what natural weight he was, 160 or 168. But to me, Billy Joe was very crafty, slick. He knows how to manage that type of heavy weight, right? Because I think Billy Joe is just kind of very chubby type of guy, but he got speed, and I just think he too got caught in mistakes that he did, right? But I don't know, guys. I just think fans are going to be disappointed in Crawford in this fight.
I 2 points I want to address here. You mentioned the Canelo Ryder fight. You know what? I think that Canelo wanted to stop Ryder. He really wanted to stop him because the fight was in Mexico. It was Canelo's comeback fight. So I really believe he wanted to go for that knockout. It didn't happen because Ryder's a big guy. I mean, again, people forget Canelo's 5'7". In my opinion, he's not a natural super middleweight. And he still managed to drop. He managed to drop Ryder, but he didn't stop him. But he was trying. He was coming forward. He ate some jabs, some punches in the way. And this is where people criticize Canelo. Oh, look, he's getting hit. Yeah, but he was never hurt. He was never in a position where he had to figure out his opponent. He had trouble figuring. No, he was in complete control of the fight. He was just coming forward, trying his hardest to knock the guy out. Maybe he ran out of steam at the end. Who knows? But he tried to knock him out, and he was in control. But when you mentioned another point, you mentioned the Crawford, that his dog, that dog comes out, and it's true. He's the type of guy that when he gets hit, he wants to get back at you. He wants that get back, that get back. And, he gets away with that at junior welterweight and welterweight, because he's such a big guy and he's strong. He gets hit and he's like, I'm gonna get you. And he starts swinging and he's wide open. He's open when he swings. And sometimes he gets caught, but he manages to survive. He got dropped by Kavaliuskas, right. But anyways, my point is this though: if he tries to do that against Canelo, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out. He needs to stay composed, because if he thinks he's gonna get his get back against Canelo, he's fucking crazy, because he sucks at exchanging. The way he throws his punches, he's wide fucking open a lot of times. Let me just read a super chat here. Hold on, before we continue, we have another one from JXV88. JXV88, I got that right. He says Canelo's defense is better than Crawford's. That's true. I'm going to make a video about that if I have time. He's also a better counterpuncher because of his chin. He takes a shot to give it. I don't think Crawford can, but that's exactly my point. One of my points. A very good point. Canelo can take a shot and he can get you back. I don't know if Crawford can take Canelo shots. I don't think he can. I mean, this isn't Gamboa. This isn't Kavaliuskas. This isn't Sean Porter. This is a super middleweight. Anyways, go ahead. Somebody wants to say something.
That, man. And shout out to that dog in that picture with all those coronas, man. That's
He's having
cute,
a party.
man. No, but yeah, I will further on what you're saying, like when that dog comes out, I think Crawford knows all that, to be honest, up in this fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's even gonna do that, man. I don't think he's gonna do that at all. I think fans are gonna be very disappointed. And that's why I said before that a lot of fans are gonna apologize towards the criticism that they did against Jermell Charlo, right? Because once you get hit, things change, and I think most of you would agree. Jermell Charlo is a way bigger guy than Terence Crawford, and I mean there's just so much weight that you can add on to get resistance, and the drawback of that is you get slower naturally, right? So, well, good luck to SNAC, man. We'll see what they could do as far as the performance, but I think it won't be enough to dent Canelo's armor, and I think Crawford's gonna feel that heat. And well, you already heard what I said about the late rounds, so. But I'm glad fans are seeing it, right?
By the way, Never Sobers, I don't have you muted, man. Your icon would be red. I don't have you muted. I was also going to say about the dog. This gets back to the dog, the Crawford. Yeah, I think Crawford's smart enough to know that he cannot get into any type of exchange with Canelo, in all honesty. But the thing is this, though, can he control that dog that's inside him, though? We've seen so many boxers try to change their styles, during their careers. But at the end of the day, the dog or their old style always comes out. They cannot contain it. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, which dog? A pit bull or a greyhound?
Oh, yeah, that's what you said last time. Yeah, no, that's a good point. No, I'm saying that the one where Crawford likes to get his get back. He has to get in there and it starts exchanging, trading with his opponent. Is he gonna do that against Canelo? He's gonna have to be careful. He's gonna have to go in there obviously with a game plan and really stick to it if he wants to have a chance of beating Canelo.
Yeah, that was good. What kind of dog? That was a good one. Yeah, man. And also, I think John Ryder should get credit, too, because I remember once upon a time, he gave even Callum Smith a tough fight. He even had a really good fight against Danny Jacobs. And, of course, I would say that a lot of the damage that Ryder took, that's the reason why Jaime Munguia even had more success in that fight, right? If I'm getting the times correct. But I always was kind of a fan of John Ryder's style, man. John Ryder's also got a mean type of aggressive offense. So... get back to what let's see here. Well, Mr. Bucho was saying that in that fight, when he fought in Jalisco, that Canelo likes those type of fights, man. Maybe he just strategized incorrectly, right, on how to get that knockout. But to me, that was the same type of fight that he had against what's that guy's name? Kirkland, right? In Texas back in the day. And it was just miscalculated as far as strategy. But at the end of the day, I think Canelo, he knows what he's doing. If he's really in a bad predicament in rounds, he'll try his best as he did with the Bivol fight, but just not enough to get the win. And, well, you just always got to regroup and have a better fight on the next one, the next time around.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. Well, we'll see what happens, to be honest. Yeah, this fight's getting exciting, in my opinion. I remember at the beginning, I mean, a few months ago, people were saying, it's a mismatch, but now, hey, it's getting, a lot of people are picking Crawford. Even experts, so-called experts are picking Crawford. So.
The lies are working. The lies are working.
What do you mean the lies? As they say it. Take if you, why do you think this is happening? Is it by design?
They say, what's the old saying? If you tell a lie 1,000 times, it becomes real.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So they're going to keep telling you, Crawford's going to win. Crawford's going to win. So it starts to make you almost feel like you're insane. Right? You start second guessing yourself. You're like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? That kind of thing, you know?
Originally, I mean, to your point, Fool, I think Crawford.
Yeah.
What was it?
They're trying to sell a fight.
Not real quick. I think Crawford, just to Fool's point, I think you're right. I think they will give a whole bunch of credit and even give him the win if it was like, it was a robbery if Crawford like just survived. It would be like a moral win. He dominated the story of the fight. He never gave up or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He won.
He had the heart of a black lion.
Yeah, but did you guys think? I mean, Teddy Atlas. Somebody contacted him to tell him, hey, listen, you gotta pick Crawford. I think Teddy Atlas actually believes Crawford's gonna win, and some of these other people.
They know.
I mean, here's the thing. Also, like, there's just a little bit of nationalism when they're picking Crawford a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. A lot of guys they just pick Crawford.
I think it goes beyond actually it's racism. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's fighting for the culture.
I'm not saying Teddy Atlas is a racist, but there's this belief that certain races are better than the other in boxing. It's just how it is.
No, but this is the thing is also like they've been saying like Canelo's been running for like because this is like the funny thing, like the combination of words that they actually decided to use, like slick black fighters. If it's just like a black fight, don't count. So he fought Charlo. That the guy that they were saying that he was avoiding. The guy who stayed at 154 to avoid everybody else. He avoided Triple G. He avoided Canelo. He avoided Daniel Jacobs. He avoided Boo among all people. For goodness sakes, So he avoided Lara too. He avoided Lara because you only want to campaign after the belt's after Lara lost the belt.
Yeah. The list is long. So many accusations.
Ooh, if you think I'm done, I'm not done, man. Ooh.
Yeah, there's more. No, but
I would say the good.
Yes.
I was just gonna say quickly that the good judge right now in the whole new reformation of boxing, one of the most critical judges is this Turki Al-Sheikh, because it all depends on who he's going to favor in the aftermath. And I would imagine, as many have corrected me, that Canelo is the better commodity for the Arabs. So it doesn't matter if it's going to be close. If Turkey is more set on Canelo, Turkey's going to start tweeting, and how many in industry is going to go against what Turkey's going to say. So right now, it's kind of like it's a good thing that Turkey's in the game, because we all heard it. All fans have heard it. The whole reformation of more offensive style versus defensive style. So that's why a lot of chips are more towards Canelo's favor. I mean, I don't even need that. I just think Canelo's going to be too much for Crawford as far as power. But it's a good thing that I think Turkey's more, I guess, biased to the action-friendly and offensive fighter. So I think industry's not going to go against that. I want to dare and see what guys will say, to combat a tweet from Turkey to say like, oh, it was a great fight. The better man won, but Canelo is the proven blah, 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 blah. And they don't remind people what pound for pound means as far as, legends going up in weight. Duran.
I think that's an outdated term.
Yeah.
Pound for pound's an outdated term.
Well, what's that term to use now?
Well, I mean.
Efficient weight manipulators is the term I would use.
Yeah, okay, come on. Now, here's the question.
No, honestly, think about it. Devin Haney.
Yeah, but nobody uses that. They should, though. I agree with you, but
that's like too long, too
Abbreviated.
That's
What do you mean?
long,
Pound
you
for
just
pound is long
abbreviated,
itself. It's
abbreviated.
3 fucking
Give us
words.
an
What?
abbreviation. Okay, so we're talking about Crawford. So basically, Turkey wants more exciting fighters, right? He said no more Tom and Jerry. My question is this to you guys: is Crawford gonna be influenced by these comments, or is he not gonna give a fuck fighting Canelo?
That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. And we heard it in the press conferences, right? I think they asked him, or I forgot which conference it was, but Crawford said, "Man, nobody's gonna tell me how to fight my game," right? You guys heard that.
Yep.
All right, so then we'll see what happens on fight night. We'll see what happens on fight night, and we'll see how Turkey interpreted that comment. You know, because the real person that's making the whole thing funny was Canelo, right? He's saying, Uncle Turkey told you to do this, or Uncle Turkey's not gonna be able to protect you. So in a way, Canelo's being somewhat of a narcissist or sadist in these press conferences, and I think it's good for boxing to get a wake-up call in this whole pound for pound theme. Because for me, I think there's better fights in the Crawford fight, of course. But I don't want to downplay this fight to begin with. But I just believe that Turkey is going to be more on Canelo's side as far as style, right? Because we saw the Canelo Skull fight, and I think the Skull thing was the whole Tom and Jerry formation of a theme. So
this is the thing. I think that, especially like, okay, you got the fighters inside of the ring, and then you got the fans and the people. They're the ones watching, witnessing. It had to take a lot of like holding back and patience as an observer until somebody just finally got tired and had to say something about the running. In other words, boxers get the benefit of the doubt. There's a lot of like leeway to move around, especially in this instance where one guy is moving up 3 weight classes. So it's not like it's not allowed. It's allowed, but it just crossed that point where it was enough because it was too much of the running. It's not that running or like moving, even excessive moving is not allowed. It is allowed. But when you do it to the point where it's 90% of the fight and you're only fighting less than 10%, that's not balanced. So in other words,
stalling's not allowed.
Yeah. So in other words, it had to get to this point for somebody to say. If it wouldn't got to this point, nobody would have said anything. Because for years nobody has. Because you give more benefit of the doubt to the fighters inside of the ring. You respect them. Okay, if he decides to move, is because I'm not in there. I'm not the one getting hit. So in this instance, once again, you got a fighter going up in weight. It's not gonna hurt him if he's doing it like where it's balanced, where he's not over abusing it. In other words, it is allowed, but it's not allowed when it's not a sport anymore. Where it's, what did it say? It's hit and not get hit. It's not about not getting hit and hitting. It's not about not getting hit and hitting. It's never mind.
It's about hit and fucking win the fight. It's about get hit and win the fight. It's not about fucking being a back foot bitch.
It's about bringing the fight.
It doesn't mean you cannot take a step. Of course, you can take a step back and take a side step and move around, but don't do like what Shakur did against De Los Santos. That's a good example of somebody that doesn't want to engage and is fucking running. By the way, guys, hit the like button. We're at 55 likes. This is embarrassing. 55 likes. Yeah. We need to get to 80 likes.
Don't do what the Cuban did against Canelo either.
Well, we're never going to see that guy again. We're never going to see that guy again. Now, guys, I got to go refill over here, but I'm going to leave you with this question, and please keep the show exciting for whatever time I'm gone for. Here. So whose side is Turkey on? What do you guys think Turkey wants? What outcome does he want? We can speculate. We don't know, but we can speculate. What does he want? What's the future in his mind?
I think Sobers is right. I think he's trying to set up that Shiraz versus Canelo fight, assuming Canelo beats Crawford.
It's a jihad. It's always been a jihad. It's a jihad on boxing.
Shiraz?
Is this what you wanted?
He got that gift decision against fucking Adames, remember?
Yeah, I'll be back. Keep entertaining.
Well, he didn't win. He got a draw. He got a draw versus Shit Roz.
Did he really though, Julio?
I thought sure. I thought what's his name won? Adamas.
Yeah, same. That's what I'm getting at.
Fight was garbage, but still, I thought he won it.
Yeah.
Shit ass show.
The question is also, do you guys think Turkey really believes that Shiraz can beat Canelo though? That's the more. I think Shiraz versus Canelo can be down the line for sure, but I would imagine depending on the outcome of Eubank versus Conor Ben, even that winner, because I'm favoring Eubank to win again in the rematch. I don't know if there's a stipulation with the morning weigh-in, but I would actually like to see Eubank versus Shiraz, and that's really good for the Arabs as far as putting that Riyadh season branding. So down the line, maybe Shiraz versus Canelo, or the winner of that can face Canelo. But I honestly think now that Benavidez is with the Arabs, that Turkey's happy, and perhaps Turkey might be able to convince those two. We're talking like astronomical paydays that haven't been done before. They can get those two in the ring, and I think that's why maybe he's citing more on the Canelo business than Terence Crawford, right? Because who could Crawford face after Canelo? I mean, I just sorry guys, I don't see Turkey seeing that Crawford could beat Canelo either.
Well, there's a lot of people Crawford could be fighting at 54.
Well, Crawford talked about going back down possibly to 154. I don't know who he would fight. I think everybody would beat him.
He could fight.
I just think they'll all beat him, but yeah, he can fight some guys down there.
No, that's not true. He could go back and beat Boots.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens in that fight. Yeah.
I think
he ducked the Boots fight though.
I think Boots could
fought for undisputed at 47.
Nah, I think it was all the way around. Nah. Yeah.
I think Boots is pretty big.
Because he was offered to Boots, and Boots was like, of course.
He's at 54. Wouldn't he be fighting guys at 54?
No, I was back at 47. Boots like the biggest ducker like in whole fucking boxing was Boots. Motherfuckers been jumping around the what you call no establishments, the belts like crazy. Like he started as a WBC stand-in, and then he went all the way around the sun to like the IBF. No, he was a WBO, sorry, and then he went to the WBC because he fought Billa. He was supposed to fight Rashid Ellis, but whatever. It's not his fault that Rashid lost. And that's another fight I will be interested to watch. I think Rashid Ellis could have given a lot of problems. Rashid Ellis.
Didn't you guys hear Turkey Al Sheikh say negative things about the middleweight division, or particularly that of like Lara and Adames, because he said that, the Janabek fights could have been there. But going back to Crawford, I would actually like to see Crawford get his fifth weight championship and beat Erislandy Lara. Because right now they control that. Let's say Crawford loses, they can make an offer to Lara, depending on the PBC, if they want to even allow that. But they control the PBC and saying, hey, we're offering you this fight with Crawford. Do you want to take it? It's a good challenge for Lara, but I would favor, obviously, Crawford to beat Lara. And that way Crawford could be a 160 middleweight champion. It's an easier fight than facing Johnny Beck or Adames, right? I know Adames and him were sparring partners back in the day. I just think the Lara is the easiest fight to make at 160. I know I'm sorry for skipping 154, but what else does Crawford have to prove at 154, right? He beat Madrimov. He's a champion. It's better for Crawford's resume on paper.
Did he really beat him?
Champ at 160.
I don't think he beat him. I don't think. Madrimov really, he wasn't a champion, was he?
He was a paper champion.
I thought he had an interim.
ABC belt, didn't he?
He had an interim title, I think.
Oh,
That's
really?
not a title.
He had the WBA.
I don't think it was a real belt.
I thought it was an interim.
He was the WBA title.
He had the WBA. Yeah, hold up. They had the WBA and the established, as Crawford being the media darling or whatever. They add the WBC as a gift. Crawford was a unified 154 in just in one fight.
Oh wow! All right, guys,
yeah, because that belt was vacated by Charlotte too.
Yeah. No, Charlo.
That was the only belt that Charlo was holding on.
Where is Charlo? Guys, super chat. Thank you, AJ92. He says hit the like. Yes, guys, hit the like button or ending the show. I'm not even joking.
Charlo. That's funny. I saw Charlo.
Let me read the super chat, please. And then AJ92 says hit the like. Bucho is hardworking boy. Hi, Sobe. Who's Sobe? He's never sober. I think he's never sober. He's saying hi to never sobers. We appreciate that, HJ. Yeah, hit the like, you degenerate fucking peasants. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, I don't even think he beat Madrimov. I think that was a fucking gift and a half.
Well,
I take a guy's title, running away the whole fight. That's fucking pathetic.
They
gave that
dude
watched
every
the
benefit.
fight
Off the air. It was who was there? It was FUTV. It was Never Sobers was there for a while. BDA. Don Madrazos. Anyways, guys, go check it out on Patreon for free. It's free. I posted the whole video. We watched the Madrimov fight, the Crawford-Madrimov fight, and I think Madrimov won the fight. I didn't think he won it the first time I watched it because I didn't score it. I was listening to the commentators, but watching it without the commentators, holy fuck, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, I had Buck slightly edging it. I mean, it was a good fight. I mean, they were both timid as well, but I mean, we still got to give it to Buck.
How can you say Madrimov was timid? He was on the forward foot the whole fight. He wasn't.
Well,
timid.
I'm just saying, like the Virgil Ortiz versus Madrimov, that was a way better fight, and he could have fought like that as well, right? Taking more risks. Because let's be honest, Madrimov was the bigger guy against Bud, and I just expected a bit more from Madrimov.
I thought Bud was bigger, and I think actually that Madrimov actually took less risk in the Virgil fight than he did in the Bud one. Yeah, the Ortiz, he was a full-on running in the Ortiz fight. Like I never seen the guy move faster. He was fucking running for the majority of the fight. At the very end of the fight, he tried to bring it to Ortiz because he was losing all the rounds. He knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
I'm just saying though. But back to the question that the Mr. Bucho had asked, who would Turkey favor in the Canelo Crawford? I'm just thinking that when Crawford loses, Crawford has an opportunity at 160 to beat a guy like Lara easily, and then help his resume and be a 5-weight world champion. Because what is Lara doing, man? This guy is not doing anything, and it's disappointing.
What do you mean, Lara? I don't think he could beat Lara. He can't beat Lara. Come on.
Damn, I don't know.
Lara está viejo,
He's 40 years old.
Lara's
He's 41.
Even Lara would probably beat Crawford. Even at this age. He's actually not that.
Yeah.
He's not that much older than Crawford. He's not that much older.
He's a year or 2 years older. Yeah.
And he hasn't been killing himself with weight cuts for the last decade. Who knows?
I thought Lara was already like 40 or 41. To be honest,
do you guys really think Crawford will actually want to fight again after the Canelo fight if he loses, for example? Why does he care? I mean, fighting Lara, he was just retired.
Nah, he'll most likely retire. Let's be honest.
He's not a legacy fighter. I think he would retire probably.
I mean, it depends on how much Turkey likes Crawford, because Crawford's still an American star. So the Arabs need an American star.
He never was. He never.
Can we? Okay, hold on. What's
he
a
never
star?
was.
You mean attraction, or
no? Remember, but it's in Turkey's point of view, the Arab point of view.
Right.
I don't think he ever was a star.
Casual. They don't care about the money, man. They're gonna splurge just as they did with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. They just give money. It's stupid.
I mean,
and I think
so then why not?
But he's not
why
a star.
Not have Jake Paul and Canelo fight then?
No, I think the thing about Turkey, I think something kind of obvious and something that some people haven't mentioned is like he's actually just like a casual. You see him like on regular podcasts, like everybody else. And he actually sits down and listens to, because sometimes he repeats stuff like you will listen to any other podcast. That he actually listens to it. Because I see him like I see him saying things that I heard like from podcasts, like from what was the name? Like from Jules, from Malachi, from a little bit from what's his name? Because he I think he listens a lot to the boys. To Ness. I think he listens a lot to Ness.
Yeah, the biased voices.
I will say more like like the thing about saying like begging to fight and things. I think Ness mentioned that shit and he repeated it. Like
Well, who
he
knows?
goes
Maybe
along with whatever.
Turkey could catch on. Yeah, he could catch on too
No, yeah,
because
but
obviously he owns the Ring magazine. So all the guys at the Ring mag, they'll gossip to Turkey like, "Hey, this is what's going on. This is what you need to know." And then Turkey catches on. Yeah, he catches on, but that's fine. That's enough for him. I'm just thinking though that Crawford and other American quote stars, they're valuable to Turkey. Well, obviously we value it differently, right? We see it differently, but to the Arabs, they don't really care, man, because they're going to be around until that 2030 for that Arab vision. So they're here for another 5 years, and they still need American stars to sell their Riyadh season gimmick.
But after Crawford loses to Canelo, just my opinion, obviously, it's like a star that just goes supernova, whatever, it dies. It doesn't mean it wasn't a star. It's no longer a star. It's done, right? There's no more energy, whatever, nuclear reaction shit. That's yeah.
The problem is that he's not even a star.
But that's the whole point. Like he's not like a knockout artist. Like it's like, okay, Crawford lost. He tried to fight a super middleweight. He lost. What do you want to see him fight Lara? Like seriously, I can't wait for him to fight Lara. I'm so excited. See if he can beat Lara. No, nobody cares. Like it's done. He's whatever his purpose is done. Is over. Like okay, it's over.
Yeah. But what I meant by stars from Turkey's point of view.
No, he wouldn't even take it.
Because Turkey's the casual. Yeah, Turkey's the casual. I mean, just think about it. That didn't Eminem have like some concert with the Madrimov fight, right?
Yeah.
So to do all that like star stuff, that's how Turkey sees it, or that's how he's just gambling his chips on to sell this American fighter. Forget I said star. I'm just saying from Turkey's point of view.
He lost money in that.
That's how much they value.
I think he lost money.
Well, that's why I brought up Jake Paul.
Hey, somebody, I heard Turkey lost money in that California event.
Yeah. I told you he lost money on the Avenue and the Madrimov fight. He lost a good amount of money on that.
That was that in Saudi Arabia?
That was a stacked card.
Oh, no,
that was a stacked card. No, that was in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was in Vegas.
Yeah.
No one cared.
No one cared.
Because Crawford's not a star.
So he's not a star.
He never has been. That's why that shit is really weird. But the plan was always to sell him to Canelo Alvarez.
That's why I said like he's
they on Spence like that. They made him the B side when he was always the star. He was always a bigger star than Crawford. But yet it switched around when Crawford fought Spence. And I think they were always angling towards selling this guy to Canelo because there was all those talks happened after the Spence fight, and it's like, bro, he's a welterweight. What the fuck? It's kind of weird. Go on. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, you guys are correct. I think we're all on the same page. I didn't mean to call Crawford a star in the sense from how we view it, but more like how Turkey sees it. Because
money-wise,
when you're throwing that much money,
he's not a draw. We're not correcting you. We're just like debunking that whole.
He's just not a draw. Look, now people,
what is he?
The boxing fans might think he's a good fighter, but he's not a draw. He doesn't sell tickets. He cannot power up pay-per-view. The people will not buy. So
I think Crawford's value derived from the pundits, from what they said, where they placed him in boxing, because in terms of economic, return or whatever, he wasn't a star, like we just said. So then, why was his name always brought up? Why was it out there? Who was bringing it up? It was a pundit. It was a scam.
They were trying to make him a star.
Exactly.
It just never panned out.
Technically speaking, isn't Crawford like the longest reigning ring champ in the pound for pound list? Like, or at least as far as like the accumulation of weeks. So if you're a new owner, the new owner of the Ring magazine, you might be persuaded by the guys at the Ring, whoever the board there, to say, hey, this is how you need to view Crawford because he's on your Ring business now. He's on what you own, right? So I think that's how they value Crawford, is because he represents the Ring with the longest weeks, reigning weeks.
But the longest week, how many fights in 3 years? You know what I mean? And I understand what you're saying.
He has a fight a year.
Yeah, he fights once a year or once every, the longest reigning champion, but he never fucking fights, basically. So
yeah.
But you can say he's the longest reigning, if that means anything. I mean, the guy's not even fighting. But again, so this whole facade is gonna end after he loses to Canelo. There's gonna be nothing left. He's not gonna be undisputed champion because he's not gonna. I don't even think he's the undisputed champion anymore. He probably relinquished that a long time. He did. He was the undisputed welterweight champion. That's long gone. So after he loses to Canelo, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. He tried. He lost. Goodbye.
Well, I think depending on how if he does lose badly, yeah. If he loses just by decision, he could still go down and fight. I don't know, Virgil or someone.
Yeah. I think Crawford's game plan in this fight, they're going to do a style to not receive as much damage, and their motivation is to get more bags, man. That's why I just see it. Maybe that contradicts what I'm saying about Canelo putting so much of a beating on Crawford, but in any scenario, I think Bomac and his crew, they were going to stop it regardless, man. Because Bomac gets a nice cut too, right, from the future Saudi paydays and his whole crew. So why not, man? If you're fresh and you're telling the public, yeah, I could still box another 2 or 3 years, then even when fighting Canelo, you're gonna have a safe game. It may not be the best strategy. You might fight like Jermell Charlo, which I think he will, and that's why I think Crawford has options after Canelo, and that's why they're having that 4 times undisputed T-shirt that they're playing with in the gyms that you see leaked out.
He's getting I'm pretty sure Crawford's getting paid a lot of money to fight Canelo, and the only reason why Crawford would come back,
it's 10 mil. He's getting 10 mil.
10
so,
mil.
Yeah, he's getting the same.
That's not even a lot.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, that's $10 million. I mean, the thing is, look,
I mean, I remember all their fights in the like 25
they're not
years
they're
ago.
not overpaying him.
Yeah.
The thing is, look, the guys are getting what they're worth. He's not even worth that much. They're being nice to him. They're really being nice to him, because what they're doing is they're building this up to no end in order to try to make their investment back. Because you got to keep in mind, Canelo over here, they could have given that money to Canelo to fight Benavidez. Instead, they gave it to this guy for Crawford. So there's a lot of issues here. But again, he's not worth 10 mil. This is why I think he took the fight for that much, because they were probably going to offer him.
He's getting more than 10.
No. 10 mil. No, it's not.
Man,
it's
I'm
not.
sorry,
It's
for
10 mil.
this mega fight
10
on
mil,
Netflix and all that bullshit,
dude,
you're saying 10 million, that's flat.
Much
10 mil,
more.
Yeah. From his own mouth, from Crawford's own
Much
mouth.
more than 10, Joe. Look, he's getting 10.
Yeah.
He's getting 10 plus
10 mil.
1 in the stink and 2 in the pink. Plus 10.
Exactly. Yeah, he already got that. That happened way before this fight was signed. Turkey got him, but he hand holding. He's proud of this Turkey. He's holding him in the ring. I mean, look, it's 10 mil from Crawford's own mouth. It's been reported many, many times. It's getting 10 mil.
Right, so,
the guy, you got people. You just got to remember, he is not a pay-per-view draw. His fight right before this Canelo fight, he lost money for Turkey out of the chicken.
Right.
He's getting more than what he's worth. That's what's happening.
All right, here's my next question then.
Why does Bebo look more Asian?
I know. He's starting to look more Asian. Yeah, what the fuck is
Did you see the pictures of him going through surgery? Here, I'm gonna put a poster right here.
Yeah,
it looks more Asian now than he's like
I thought he was Asian.
It looks more, bro.
Did he get the sex change?
He has like.
Did he get the sex change?
Let me show it to people in the chat.
Looks more Korean now, bro.
So somebody tell me what is this post about, Dimitri? What's happening? What's the breaking news?
Merman.
Yeah, he was getting
the breaking news. It's about him. He had to undergo surgery on an older back injury that he's been dealing with over 10 years. But it kept getting worse with each training camp. Everything went well. 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, maybe that's why he was kind of holding back on that third fight with. Right.
He needs some kind of excuse.
All right. So I thought it was.
Back surgery.
I thought it was a fight announcement.
He'd rather get back surgery, like unnecessary back surgery, than fight better BF for a third time.
Guys, next question here. What's gonna be Crawford's value if he loses to Canelo?
Nothing. No.
Nobody wants to see him anymore. That's it. Goodbye.
Value.
If
he gets laid out,
very broad question.
I don't think so.
If he gets
Unless he gets completely knocked out, then he has no value.
Look, Bucho.
Yes. Yes.
And when you're an FBA fighter, right? a full black American. They have your back. You know what I mean? They do everything to be undefeated. They'll give you close everything. But
you're breaking up, man. You're breaking up.
It's over with. They throw you in the trash.
Okay. I got your point. You were breaking up, by the way. I think you should drop out and come back in. It's true though. They do throw you. Some people do throw their favorite boxers under the bus. We've seen that happen. I'm not gonna say who it is. I think you guys know who it is, but that's very common practice.
Spence is an example.
Yeah, Wilder.
Yeah, see, list goes.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. So there's no value. You guys don't see any value in Crawford. Okay, obviously it depends on how he loses. But
here's the thing though.
You really don't have value to begin with. Let's be honest.
You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, to finish my original point, bro, once these Americans lose their O, it's over with. No one gives a shit about them. That's why it was such a desperate move on the Haney's part and Victor Conte's part. It was imperative that they find a way to make Ryan Garcia reverse that loss.
Right.
Because even they had to make sure that he's still defeated, because Bucho, as soon as he lost, like, no one gave a shit about him. They're just clowning him. He's no good. He was never no good. The only thing that he had was the undefeated record, right? So that's how it is with all these Americans, bro. Once they lose that, it's over with. Really, no one really cares. Devin Alexander, as soon as he lost, boom, you never heard about him. All of a sudden, he has like a crack problem and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's they're helped along the way up, but once they lose, dude, they lose all their value.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he did. He was like addicted to pills and crack.
He looked like a crackhead, didn't he?
Allegedly. No, I think it was true. But anyways.
No, it's for real.
Yeah,
it looked true.
What happened to the guy after? I forgot, man.
He's chilling out.
Once they lose that old Bucho, it's over with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crawford lost it already.
But
wait.
Yes.
Sobers.
Yo.
You don't think he has value? Like, even if he loses, as long as he doesn't lose really badly, he can still like go against Virgil or someone like that, because people want that.
Would he really be the A side against the Virgil though at that point?
No, but just for the bag, bro.
Unlikely.
Just to get the bag.
Yeah, he would be a stepping stone at, you know what I mean, after that.
Yeah, it would literally just be a passing of the torch.
Would he do it for the right amount of money?
They would just say Canelo softened, and they would just take it away from Virgil.
No, but would Crawford do it for the right amount of money?
Sounds like Alonzo.
He's already done it.
Yes, he's doing it right now.
He's already done it. Why not again?
DJ Alonzo Love.
DJ Alonzo, man.
I'm just here to give you guys my prediction of a Canelo Crawford fight. And I think that Crawford is going to pull it out. You know, I've always liked my American fighters. So Crawford by UD. Official by DJ Alonzo
that
Love.
voice is starting to annoy me. What the fuck is that? It's creepy.
Happy birthday, Bucho. Shout out to you.
Creeping me out, man.
That's messed up. That's fucking messed up.
Everyone mic is different at BDAs. Yeah, exactly. All right, so you guys.
Devin the Painkiller Alexander. That's funny as fuck.
Only Vessel. I'm gonna write. Only Vessel believes Crawford will still have some value if he loses to Canelo Alvarez. Everybody else says this guy is done and should retire. You know what?
You don't have value now.
At 30, okay, Amac, you keep saying that, but I mean, come on, he does have some value, right? He's like a pound for pounder. He's like.
We'll see. Where would you put him after he loses on the pound for pound list, Bucho?
Undefeated.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Where does
he go after on the pound for pound list? Yeah, after he loses.
After he loses, where does he go?
He's out. I mean, come on.
He's off, right? After Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, where was he on the pound for pound list? He kind of just exited it, right?
Did he really lose though? Because apparently, according to BoxRec, he never lost.
And then same thing with Jermell. Wasn't Jermell Charlo on the pound for pound list too? And then he lost to Canelo, and he kind of just disappeared as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Once these guys lose, dude, it's over with.
No, he would be out. I don't even know where I would rank Crawford.
No, he won't be out. He won't be out. I mean, look at Canelo after losing to Bivol. Even after gaining undisputed again at 168, even though we make fun of the skull fight, Canelo was somewhat demoted even after that, at the aftermath of that. So why would they put Crawford off the list?
I'll tell you
Unless
why.
you're talking about like your point of view, but
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Let's go into a future here. So Crawford loses to Canelo. So now we're in the year 2026. What would be your arguments for keeping Crawford in a pound for pound list? We're in 2026. What are the arguments?
I mean, it justifies that Canelo's win was legit.
Yeah, but why would Crawford still be in the top 10 for pound list? I'm asking everybody. Like, why keep him there? And the reason why I keep emphasizing on 2026 is because the Spence fight was in 2023. The summer of 2023. The Madrimov fight, I believe, was in 2024. So now we're in 2026. 2025, it's a loss against Canelo. And then you got to go another year back to get a win. A controversial win, in my opinion. And then you got to go to 2023 to get that Spence fight. So is that really pound for pound material?
I mean, I think I get your angle. Yeah, I mean, I get your angle. Like, as you were stating before, that industry, they kind of like inflate Crawford's success and it's a bit unfair to others. You talk about activity, pound for pound. Yeah, I agree with you. I know that. But also, if Crawford is still, let's say, within the top 7, even after the loss, it still proves that Canelo's placement in pound for pound or even that win is legit. And that's what fans need to acknowledge, right? That's why I don't really diminish or how would you say? I don't downplay Crawford to begin with. I think Crawford is a special fighter. Do I agree he's a bit, there's bias to him because he's an American? For sure, of course. That's the American market. But then again, it serves Canelo more credit for Crawford to still be in the top 7 because if he's off, then that gives fans to discredit Canelo's wins even after the fact. So
right.
I just believe, if you guys know me, I believe in the meritocracy system. So I don't mind if Crawford's still in the top 7. I still think Crawford's good. And to your point, at least Crawford needs to be active because let's say Crawford does, as I said, Bomac stops the fight. He's on his stool. And let's say Crawford doesn't take a lot of damage. I expect Crawford to be active sooner in less than a year to still be in the pound for pound list. So I would agree with you in that sense. But at the same time, I still think Crawford is a legit pound for pound. Because then we start criticizing guys like Inoue and maybe even others, right?
Really.
But
I agree.
No?
I get your point. Okay, wait. First of all, AJ92 says, thank you for your super chat. Alonso is a bold fraud. Are you Alonso? Because if you are, then you have enemies. I'll tell you right now. But anyways, I don't know who's Alonso. What you were saying about Crawford and listen, inactivity we have to take into account inactivity. If a boxer is inactive, I don't think he should be. He should. If he's a champion, then he shouldn't be a champion anymore. And if he's a supposedly pound for pounder, then he should be removed from the list. That's all I was saying.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree with you. But I think as the years go by and new generations come, when they look at the footage and they look on paper, all that stuff is going to be fine. It's like, I know. I mean, if we're living right now in the moment, then yeah, you're 100% correct. But I don't worry about that because I expect all of us to be part of the game in the future and all that stuff. So I'm not worried, to be honest with you. But I think what was the question, right? Is what's Crawford's value after the loss?
Yeah.
I still think, and I think other gentlemen were saying that he's going to make 10 million. Nah, man. Look, if you're on the Netflix platform, if you are Crawford's managers and it's legal, you need to get way more than. I mean, I don't know what would be like 75-25. Let's imagine, right? Canelo's reported to make 150, right? I mean, Crawford's got to make more than 10 million, man. There's no way he's gonna make less than that. No way.
Okay, so all right, I'll get the point. Now let's move on here. I got another question. Now this is a big one. FUTV, are you there? I want to ask this to FUTV.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. We're talking about Crawford's value after a loss. What's Crawford's career evaluation if he loses to Canelo? What would you say about his career? Just throw in some
his career.
Yes, overall.
I don't think this fight really means much if he loses. Well, I mean, the way that the people are building it up, it seems like if he lost, it would be like a big like everyone would be shocked. Oh my God, he lost. He's supposed to win.
No.
I think his career is, to me, it's not very impressive at all. If it's coming to an end,
we're
I would
talking
say
about a four-division champion, two-time undisputed champion, undefeated for I don't know how many fucking for how many fucking years.
It's weird.
You're saying that doesn't. It's not. You're not impressed.
To me, I mean, boxing history. They'll make it up. They won't actually comb through this resume. They'll just say, "Oh well, undisputed and this and that." Right? That's what it is. Like, look, I don't even believe a lot of this undisputed shit. Like, if Crawford was going to go up and if he was magically able to beat this old Canelo, he would not be undisputed because he hasn't done anything at 168. So how could he be undisputed? That doesn't make sense to me. In the same world where you have styles make fights and, you have the size differences and so on, you could never say that this guy is truly undisputed at 168 because he would have done nothing except beat this older Canelo his past prime. So they can call him undisputed all they want. I would never believe it. I don't think he could be a guy like a Munguia or the other guys Canelo beat. So either way you cut it, I mean, it is a big achievement, I guess, if it was to happen. I doubt it's going to happen. But for sure, that would build his reputation.
Let's say he loses. Like,
if he loses, I mean, that again, he has nothing to lose. This is why this was a big kind of a shitty fight for Canelo to take, because what they call a lose-lose situation. If Crawford loses, it means almost nothing. If Canelo loses, for most people, it would be a big deal, right? Like, oh my God, look, he lost to this little
did
guy.
you consider Crawford a pound for pounder? Ever?
No.
Ever? Never?
I don't.
Never.
I mean, look, he's a pound for pound if he fights bumps. If he fights any high level guy, he's gonna lose every time. In any way,
your pound for pound list, you never consider him a pound for pounder. And you're
because pound for pound, the way I see it is that it's the guy's so skilled that you could see his style in any weight class and he would be dominating. The thing with Terrence Crawford is that he's a guy that's dominating small little men, little guys, and many times they're on the way out. He's getting them at their weakest. And they're low level. Like, you see Sean Porter, B level, Amir Khan, B level. These guys are not high level, and they're at the end of their careers. Now, if he would have beat some prime fighters, maybe even these guys at prime, maybe I'd say he's pretty good. But even versus these like declined fighters, the declined B level fighters, he still has not shown like extreme dominance or great skill, because you see him versus Porter, he's losing almost every single round. Then he fights Brook, a broken, finished Brook, one fight before retirement, and he's losing every single round. So again, I just don't see the greatness here, or true pound for pound. Like, I can see this guy beating anyone anyway. And you see him as he went up to 168, he fought one of the lowest level champions they have, right? 10 fights. And in my book, he lost. Now, what's going to happen if he fights more guys? Mm-hmm. My guess is he's just going to get smashed. So I just he's a good fighter.
Almost, yeah.
At 40. But he didn't do much in his prime. You saw him getting rocked. Gamboa, 26-year-old Terrence Crawford, getting his face knocked off by this little tiny Gamboa, who was 32 years old towards the end of his career.
I mean, his resume came into question. Canelo questioned his resume, right, during the press conferences.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like Crawford had an answer to what Canelo was.
I think he kind of agreed with it. He agreed with it. He was like, damn, you're right. You saw it.
Who's your best?
He asked the question. He's
opponent?
like, Victor Postal.
He said you at some point. He's like, you're going to be my best opponent. He said that.
And you. That was fucking crazy. And he also brought up Victor Postal. He glossed over, Spence and Porter and Brook. These guys who have done way more than I think. Obviously, these guys did more than Victor Postal. The Brook guy went all the way up in weight and fought Triple G. Like, and you're going to go put Postal ahead. That just shows you that Terrence Crawford knows that he was cherry picking. And so to me, the boxing world could say whatever they want. To me, this guy didn't do much. He hasn't done much in his career. I didn't say anything too great. I mean,
yeah, I don't see.
People can see whatever they want.
I see a guy that moves up in weight and fights certain guys, but he never really fights the best of the best. When Crawford moved to welterweight, it's not like he immediately fought the best welterweights. He was on the sidelines. Whatever you want to, politics, sure, that had something to do with it. Let's say, but he didn't fight the best welterweights for a long time. He was on the sidelines. He fought fucking the Australian guy who beat Pacquiao, who didn't really beat Pacquiao, in my opinion. I think Pacquiao won that fight. He basically beat the guy who lost to Pacquiao. And Yeah, that's what happened. And then finally he got the Sean Porter fight. But Sean Porter, I mean, that guy retired right after that. That tells you something.
Immediately after.
Yeah.
He literally said, his dad said that he was thinking he was going to retire before the fight. Like he was going to end the fight and then he just retired. That's how he catches all these guys. He gets them at retirement. It's crazy. Like every time they bring up this guy's resume, they act like these guys were in their prime. And keep in mind, even if these guys were in their prime, they're B level. Like Sean Porter was never a high level fighter. Never. He was just a ball of energy. You come in, make a million mistakes, get pieced up, and just beat you up with these fights of attrition, right? He would just beat you up with sure stamina and athleticism. He'd come in and beat you up. It was never, he's slippery and he's beating you with his great boxing skills.
No, exactly. Right? No, that's it. But here's the thing, though. Why are these so-called experts and pundits, whatever, saying that the first thing they say, one of the first things they say when they talk about Crawford is the IQ. He adapts. He's able to adapt and change his style during a fight. And I'm like, I've never seen this before. Which fight are you talking about? And I keep asking everybody,
I never seen it.
Give me a fight. Which fight should I go look at where I'm going to go like, wow, this is a pound-for-pound performance. Look at how he took over all of a sudden. Never. It's always, if he stops, let's say, Kell Brook, is because he threw a right hook and he caught the guy after losing 3 rounds. Against Sean Porter, I mean, eventually Sean Porter just ran out of steam, basically, because the guy was just lunging in, charging, no defense. And Crawford managed to...
Yeah, the fact he can put Brook out like that shows the illusion of Terrence Crawford more than anything else. Because this is why I bring up, I made many videos about this subject. Look at this Brook over here, dude. This guy got such a strong chin that he's eating every shot Triple G has to throw. This guy literally broke Brook's skull. Broke his skull, and the guy still didn't get knocked down. Right? One of the hardest punchers in middleweight history.
That's a good point.
And Brook doesn't even get knocked down. Then he fights Terrence Crawford. He hits him, dude, literally with half a jab. He didn't even shoot the jab completely out. His elbow's still bent, and this dude's knocked out from just half a jab. Obviously, that was
a right jab. It was a jab.
It was a jab. It was a jab. Yeah, he stepped in with a jab and he threw half of the jab, and this guy's literally out on his feet. It was bullshit. It was an illusion. That's what Terrence Crawford is in many ways. He's an illusion.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, guys, again, this Kell Brook, a guy who was taking multiple shots from a prime, well, almost prime Golovkin, whatever. That Golovkin was knocking everybody out, right?
Yeah.
And
real strong.
He couldn't drop Kell Brook. But all of a sudden, Crawford with a jab and fucking staggers the guy. He knocked him down. And
he had him out. He fell through the ropes almost. Remember? He jabbed him. He almost fell through the rope.
He was like running. Not running, but like...
Yeah, but wasn't that fight 147 against Kell Brook?
Yes, it was 147 because he drained him out.
He was drained, man. That dude had no fluid in his head.
This is a Kell Brook that was fighting at 154. This is a Kell Brook that fought 3 fights, I think, after the Spence fight at 154. Had to come back down to fight Crawford.
Yeah. But I agree with this gentleman what he was saying. I don't know if you said it or the other guy that was saying that, Crawford picked guys at the end of their career, because that is kind of true, because Crawford, even back in when Floyd beat Pacquiao, was that 2014 or 15? I forgot what year it was. Back in that time, Crawford, it was 15, right? Man, as time goes by. Yeah, Crawford said that he wanted the Pacquiao fight, and he said he didn't want to let that fight marinate. He said that in 2015, guys. So, it's true that after Floyd beat Pacquiao, then Crawford did want, to kind of steal that shine from the Floyd win and prove that he could probably do it better. And Crawford was always bigger than Floyd in general. Look, the way I see it is that it's not Canelo's fault that Crawford's team, that they chose to finally step it up and gain weight. Because to me, Crawford, man, that guy was so mad drained when he was fighting at 135, like just disgustingly drained. And that's nothing unusual with Top Rank, but that means Crawford could have already been at 147 years ago, many, many years ago, even before his time I would say when he was at 140. But the guy that said that he chooses guys later in their career, I would say that's 100% correct with the circumstance that he wanted the Pacquiao fight back in 2015, or at least he was more vocal about it in 2015. I don't know if he wanted it even years before that. But again, it's not Canelo's fault that Crawford took so long in his career to finally step up. And that's why I'm saying fans are going to be disappointed in this fight. It's a different ball game, man, when you fight a guy like Canelo. Even besides, going up 2 weight classes. I just, I think Crawford's going to play it safe.
Let's hope he comes
I think he's
fight.
going to play it safe. No, I think he's going to play it safe. They're not going to do much. It's going to be like another Madrimov timid situation, or the way Jermell Charlo fought Canelo. And unfortunately, I think fans are going to criticize Canelo for that aftermath more than to criticize Crawford's choice. But
Couldn't catch him. He was right here, run all night. They'll be like, Canelo couldn't catch him. He lost. It's like, okay, maybe that's what they'll do.
I still believe Canelo's going to try and rush him. People are saying, "Oh, we haven't seen that before. He's too old." Blah blah blah. But I think for this fight, he's going to do a little bit extra.
Crawford's even older, bro. He's even older.
Yeah, but no, I think Canelo's going to go for the knockout, and he's going to get it. It's not that difficult to hit.
Canelo's going to knock him out, bro.
He's not that
difficult
to hit.
Canelo's going to hit him with one fucking clean right hand. He's going to rock his head off. Watch.
All right, look, I can see this fight ending so many ways. I can see it stopping off a body shot. I can see it stopping. I can see it stopping in the corner from Bomag just saying, "Stop! I can't let you keep going out there, son." I can see Bud himself saying, "You know what? Just pull me out." I can see him shaking his head no, like he did, like Demetrius Andrade, like, no, stop it. You know what I mean? But what I really do see happening is Amir Khan style, overhand right on the chin, head snapping off the canvas. He's stiff for a couple seconds. Canelo's like, "Oh shit, I fucking killed him." Canelo's like, "Oh shit, I fucking killed him." And he's on his knees, like praying for a second, like, "Please get up, please get up."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tells everybody, "Don't cheer too loud, don't cheer too loud. He might be dead." You know what I mean? He's like, show some respect,
They thought he was kneeling, so he would like,
Yeah, he was kneeling down. He's like, "Please get up, motherfucker. Please get up. Please wake up. Please wake up, motherfucker. Please wake up."
Oh man, that's very, very.
That's what's gonna happen.
I'm sorry, Papa, I kill you. I keep killing you. I kill you.
Do you want to kill you?
Kentucky, I'm sorry, I killed your boyfriend.
Fuck. Well, yeah. Crazy, man. We're getting, but I'm still shocked at these so-called experts picking Crawford. Even well, okay. I saw this. Barack and Barack, whatever. Those guys from the Zone. I forgot the fucking names. They were interviewing Virgil Ortiz, and Virgil Ortiz was saying, "I'm picking Canelo," and you can see like they're
like, what?
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? But why? Tell us why. Please explain. Like he has to. Like, do you actually need to explain it? But anyways. But then Ortiz feels like he's being attacked or something. He's like, he was on the defensive. No, but I still see a way for Crawford to win. I just see it very difficult.
And they're like, exactly.
Exactly. And then Virgil Ortiz goes like, the IQ, definitely Crawford has the IQ. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, man, they're throwing them a bone or something. He's throwing them a bone. Fucking, what IQ? I keep hearing this IQ and nobody can really conceptualize it, man. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Why does Crawford have a better IQ? Please, give me some examples of that demonstrate this IQ.
I think it has to go with what the other guy. I think he's the other guy was talking on the panel. He sounded like a Boricua to me, but he said it the best. That it's more like nationalistic bias. That's the reason why guys like Atlas and Bradley, that's normal, man. They're gonna root for the American guy, and unfortunately, the way they discredit the other nation, right? The Mexican boxing, they've got their reasons, but it's not unusual for them to talk like that. So I mean, I know you, Mr. Bucho, you said before you said it jokingly, maybe a bit racist, right? But I don't even think it's that. It's just more like just preference for the nationalism.
No, yeah, the Mexican's a bad guy. He has to lose.
Yeah. The cheaters, the the ones that use drugs and shit. That's what it is.
He's connected to the cartel, Bud's just a dude from the hood who drove himself to the. And let me talk about this stupid ass story, right? He's just a dude from the hood who got shot in the head. He's so badass he drove himself to the hospital. That's literally a story out of a fucking movie. Do you guys know that shit?
No.
It's I think it's Tom Hardy, or it's like he's like a bootlegger in the 1930s.
Oh yeah.
And he wakes up in the hospital and he's like, and like his girlfriend's right there telling him, "I've been through everything." Like she's breaking him down. She's like, "I drove you to the hospital when you got shot in the head," and he's like,
You did? I thought I drove myself. And she's like, motherfucker, you believe those stupid ass stories? You couldn't. She's like, it was me, you fucking idiot. And then he's right there, like realizing, wow, I was just hearing rumors about myself and I was buying it. It's the same fucking thing here, dude. Like, you drove yourself to the hospital, bro? All right.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, it's just
So what's the bullet escaped?
gangster stories when it comes to Crawford and all these boxers.
Yeah, literally out of a story out of a fucking movie, bro.
Exactly. By the way, Rob,
Man, you know, that's also that community, right? That community. Once you take a loss, you're done. You're done.
Let me just read a super chat from Warspeed. I really appreciate your super chat. It says Sapo Verde to you, Mr. Bucho. I could type more and maximize my boxing contributions, but this is your time. Salutations. Thank you. Really appreciate that, Warspeed. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. Always supporting. Always supporting. But yeah, no, listen, Crawford, we need to stop with this nonsense. This guy's a Superman. He's Superman. He's a human. He's a human moving up to super middleweight. Stop
He's
it.
not human.
He's a human.
Exoskeleton.
IQ, my IQ. He's like
super
his
IQ.
brain so big. He has such a big brain. He's gonna figure it out. That's what we say. Like Crawford. This was Barack and Barack, whatever the name is. Like, but don't you think, Virgil, that Crawford sees something? Like, what the fuck are you supposed to say about that shit? Well, obviously, he probably thinks he sees something. I mean, every boxer sees something in their
I know what he
opponent.
sees. You know what he sees? Bad day, bad day, bad day.
Payday. Yeah, that's what.
That's all he sees. He sees Canelo looping his head. Bad day, bad day.
Pretty much, seriously. Like,
He sees something. He sees something.
don't you think he sees something, though, guys? Guys, don't you think Crawford sees something? Uh-oh. What the fuck's going on with...
I had to work on my running skills.
Yo, Discord sacked
Hey,
me,
so
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you guys. So then, when Canelo beats Crawford on the pound for pound list, do you think they're gonna interchange the two? That they might put Canelo ahead of Bivol and better be put him at number 3?
They probably would.
No,
He's number one, bro. If he beats Crawford, he's number one.
They won't.
They'll probably downplay that.
Because you know Turkey.
Yes.
But isn't Turkey upset with Bivol and Beterbiev nowadays? Because I mean, obviously the PBC had a big part of that, right? Taking away the WBC belt, so it kind of messed the business for a third fight in Riyadh season. But whatever, the Russians are kind of out of the picture now, so I think they would put Canelo. And if Turkey's happy with Canelo, right, the questions we had before, and Crawford loses, then in theory Canelo would probably be replacing Crawford's position on the pound for pound list, right behind Inoue, I guess. Don't you guys agree? Or I don't know where you want to place Canelo, but I just imagine
they're going to skyrocket him.
He won't get credit.
They're going to skyrocket him to the top. They're going to skyrocket him to the top, so then they can later on have what's his name, the Pakistani dude, Shiraz, try to take his spot.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a fight they want. That's a fight that
yeah,
she
well,
wants.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't really care much about the pound for pound list. I mean, it's nice, but it's I just imagine he'd probably switch up Crawford's ranking in the ring list. By the way, I'm not speaking for the ESPN one or the others, but just the ring website one. I would imagine they would put Canelo to replace Crawford's position right behind Inoue, and then we'll see what fights we get in the future between Inoue and Usyk. Because it's obviously a battle for the top 3, I guess, right? Top 5?
Yeah. I mean, I will have to look at the list. I don't even know out of the top of my head. Because I don't really give a shit about pound for pound list. I just do it for the show. I think Usyk's still there. Inoue. Who else is there? Who are the top 3? What's the consensus over here about the top 3?
Yeah. Well, it's always the Usyk, Inoue, and Crawford. Like that's like a rinse idea from what I remember. Yeah, he's always like top 3. So in theory, I mean, I would imagine if they're trying to sell this fight hardcore, right, to the masses, to the casuals, what's the idea about pound for pound, right? A guy's moving up in weight. So obviously, the right thing to do, right? The right thing to do, and hopefully Turkey could acknowledge it, is to most likely switch the two, or bump Crawford maybe behind Beterbiev, right in between Nakatani and Bam Bam, or for example. I don't really care, man, but I'm just curious what the fans are going to say afterwards, right? Or how are they going to feel when Crawford gets demoted?
Says Bam is top 3. Bam. Well, it's not Bam. It's Bam Rodriguez is top 3. Maybe he's just not getting enough attention, to be honest.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about here? I mean, Canelo, if he wins, you guys are saying, what's next for? So this is interesting. What's next for Canelo if he beats Crawford? Like, does that propel him to number one? I think Never Sober says yes, because apparently Turkey wants him to fight Shiraz. Well, what else? What other options are there for the Canelo?
Chris Eubank.
I don't think Ring could do that though. The Ring board, they wouldn't just put Crawford. I mean, Canelo.
He owns it now, doesn't he?
Like a number one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, but the board, but the guys like Doug Fisher and those guys, they would control the quality of ratings, because then it would get a lot of heat. Maybe some fans might say they don't care, right? They'll do what they want to do, but I mean, that's why I said I don't care so much about the pound for pound. I don't mind who's where. But back to your thing, you know what? Actually, I have Nakatani higher than Bam Rodriguez for me. I like both of them. Hopefully, we can make that fight early next year. I want to see Bam Rodriguez take on Nakatani. That's a fight I want.
Yeah, but
that's a badass fight. I know Nakatani's.
If Canelo beats Crawford, then he's beating a pound for pounder, right? He should get credit. And a lot of people now are picking Crawford to win the fight. So you gotta give Canelo credit. This is what I keep saying, though.
Exactly.
I mean, you have all these experts picking Crawford to win the fight, but if Canelo wins the fight, he won't get any credit, or that much credit. Well, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
It's saltiness, right? Because you're discrediting one guy, but then you're also praising pound for pound. Yeah. I mean, for me, pound for pound is proving that you can navigate through weights and fight the best, right? Or be the number one in each division. So I mean, if you don't give Canelo credit in that sense, right, for at least defending his division at 168, if we can't give credit to that, then why do we even care about a pound for pound fantasy rating, right, or however you want to call it? And that's a disservice to guys of the past, the greats of the past. So we'll see what fans do if they want to contradict or diminish what it means to move up and dare. Right? Because if, as you said yourself, if they're picking Crawford to beat Canelo, well, then in theory, if Canelo maintains his ground and defends and beats Crawford, then obviously you have to give Canelo credit. If not, then this sport is a bit funny. And it shouldn't be that way. We got to control it. We got to control it to remind fans to keep it 100, right?
Exactly. But I don't know if it can be controlled, but all right, I think it's time to move on here, because we keep talking about Canelo Crawford, and we're going to talk about that fight more and more as we approach September 13th. But there's rumors about Shakur Stevenson. There's no rumors. There was just Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez were exchanging words on social media, and I just wanted to get your guys' take on that fight, if it ever happens. How does that play out? Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez.
I think Teofimo beats him
right now
fairly easily.
I think Teofimo outboxes him, bro.
I think that's easy. I think Teo could
Shakur his whole thing is being a twitchy fast fighter. I think Teofimo's twitchier and faster.
He doesn't have anything for Teo, especially if Teo makes him actually box and come forward, stand in the center of the ring.
Stops him?
If he backs him up on the ropes, he's just fucked. I think Teo, the guy doesn't offer much against a guy like Teo. It's not there. He can hit one bedoinks all night. Come on.
Well, this is interesting.
It's an interesting fight because Teo's not a huge puncher, but for the weight, I don't know if Shakur is used to getting hit by a guy who can actually sort of crack what Teofimo at the lower weights could punch. So, when you bring him up in weight, maybe for a guy like Shakur Stevenson, maybe he's not used to that level of power. With these bigger guys, they can take it. I'm not sure what it'll be, but I would edge it towards Teofimo. I think he's just all around better fighter.
Yeah, I posted a poll. I made a poll on the BDA community section, and I think last time I checked, it was like 60% people picked Shakur Stevenson. I was like,
Yeah, of course they did, dude. I've seen some of your polls. Like the people in there, they always pick like the most. They always pick the most common dude. It's like crazy. I'm like, what? All the time, all these different picks for anything. You'll put like, oh well, would Roy Jones beat like fucking I don't know, Usyk, and they'll put like Roy Jones. Like, yeah, okay.
So, do you guys think Shakur Stevenson has twitchier fibers than Lomachenko?
No, not at all. Lomachenko's way better than that guy.
Yeah, I agree. Too bad.
I agree too, but I just find it like hilarious that people are picking Shakur.
Well, especially after that what's his name, Cepeda fight. Now these people who love Shakur, they're going on a frenzy. Now they're crazy.
Well, it's true. Teofimo is always hot and cold. It's one of my issues with ever making predictions with him. But this guy Shakur doesn't really pose much problems for them. There's no weapons. It's all defense. It's all defense. It's like Tank Davis said. He said the guy's got nothing. He says he's all defense. He has no offense. So
he's a big.
I don't see. Yeah, he's a big guy. Shakur's bigger than Teo.
He's bigger than Cepeda, man. Cepeda couldn't even reach him. Remember, Cepeda was trying to jab Shakur's head, and Shakur was just leaned back on the ropes, and the guy couldn't reach him. Cepeda couldn't reach him. He was so fucking big.
He's a welterweight.
You know, if they were to fight, you know what fight they would bring up for Shakur, right?
What?
They would probably compare him to who was that American Teofimo fight? What was his name?
The American Teofimo fight?
Oh, Ortiz, I think it was, wasn't it?
Ortiz?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it?
He looked bad in that fight. Yeah, after the Spanish guy, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name?
The guy that was just fucking running. That guy. You know what I'm talking about? Jermaine Ortiz.
Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah,
Jermaine Ortiz.
Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah. No.
Who ran away the whole fight? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that would be pretty much.
Yeah, but they're gonna compare. They're gonna give that comparison to Shakur and Jermaine. That's what that fight looked like.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Not too excited fight, you know. But I mean, look, Shakur.
Yeah.
Snowcore, what do you call him? Snooze core, whatever. He's doing anything.
He's fucking boring.
He's doing anything he can to make one last payday. Like he's just jumping all over the place.
One last
he's
payday.
Like, I think he's at the tail end of his career. He's got like maybe two or
wait.
He got 2 or 3 left in him. 2 or 3.
Really?
This is what. Yeah. He's trying to strike while the iron is hot. That whole payday shit that was all bullshit. The way it's all dominant win. So he's trying to strike while the iron's hot. So this is why you see him jumping to Conor Ben. Then he's jumping to Teofimo.
Right.
Tank Davis, he dips out. He's out the sport. From what I hear, he might actually be fighting Manny Pacquiao. So this guy got no one to fight except real competition. You know, like guys that aren't going to bring him that. Well, obviously these other guys are real competition, but they're not going to bring him that big money.
Wouldn't a Lopez fight be the end of it though, for him?
I guess so, maybe. But the thing is that he's bigger than Lopez, so he probably thinks, maybe I got a shot versus this guy. This guy's not very big, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's that big. He's really not a very big guy. You can tell he's like stacked for 140. He's like bulked. He put as much muscle on as he can get.
I remember he looked big against Lomachenko, and I was like, man, Teofimo's a big lightweight. But then I'm like, wait a minute. It wasn't that Teofimo was that big. It's more of like Lomachenko was really that small, right?
Yeah, he's a tiny guy.
He's tiny. He doesn't even have broad shoulders or anything. So he looked really tiny against Teofimo Lopez. But now I'm thinking, Teofimo Lopez is not really that big. And he can't even make I think he's at his limit at 140. I mean, he moves up to welterweight. I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez. I think he's at a complete disadvantage.
Well, he is, yes. His only advantage possibly is if he can maintain his speed and footwork, movement. But
right, because
it gets harder.
Gone at 140. I don't know if
he lost it all. I don't think he has any pop as he went up in weight. He lost all of it, that's what usually what happens. That's why I think it's funny. All these guys are saying Crawford's gonna knock Canelo out. Like, when do you? That's the rule in boxing, is that as you go up, you lose power. You don't gain it. That's why I always thought was funny with Crawford talking about Manny Pacquiao. He went up in weight and the power went away. It's like, yeah, like every other fighter. Like, there's nothing new about that.
It's very rare.
He couldn't get the knockouts anymore.
It's very rare.
Oh yeah, it's unheard of. Really.
I don't even have an example. I mean, Pacquiao did carry some of the power, but it wasn't even the same. I mean, there's so many fights where maybe he dropped the opponent, but he didn't finish him. Right.
He kept his speed. He didn't get more power, and actually lost speed as well.
There's no way.
He was just so fast. Yeah, there was no power there. These guys, they don't know what they're talking about. The Ricky Hatton fight was at 140. They keep bringing that up. His last knockout was Ricky Hatton at 140, which is basically Manny Pacquiao's best weight at that. And then there's, because Terrence Crawford said that. Remember, he threw him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, Manny, look, he didn't take the test. It's like, not even to go into it because he did agree to the test. These dudes just love to shit on that dude because he's better than they ever could be. 36 years old. He takes it to Barrios. Come on, man. These guys aren't even close to that level, you know? You got to know a fighter's ridiculously good when they can come back at 46 or like 15% of what they were and beat a young guy like that. Or even be competitive to the point that they get a draw. To see Floyd do that shit, it's not going to happen.
Mark says in the chat, it's not quite as bad as Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. Well, which fight are you talking about?
But, you know, but that's another example of a guy who none of his power came up with him. He went up in weight and he had no pop. That's why Spence was able to walk all over him, because he just couldn't hurt Spence.
Okay, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, no, I'm fucking missing the point. Yeah, of course, yeah, the power, yeah. No, he ran
him over because he couldn't hurt him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens as you go up in weight. When Manny Pacquiao got pinpoint accuracy, punching you all in your face. So, you know, it's like bees just beating the fuck out of you. So it's hard to get past that. You know, if Mikey would have had more activity, he probably would have done better versus Spence. You notice he wasn't throwing a lot. He was turtling up.
In your opinion, was Spence trying to knock out Mikey? I think he was.
I mean, he was hitting him a lot.
He was.
And Mikey showed he's a durable guy. Must be the snacks.
His defense was pretty good, though. No, but also Mikey's defense was pretty. He was rolling with the punches, parrying, and like he was.
I remember him taking a hellacious beating, and the guy could not knock him out. But you know, Spence looked drained to death. I mean, I guess they had a rehydration clause
next to protecting his chin and his body. He was rolling with the punches. He took punches. Obviously, I mean, you can't do that for long. I mean, even if you block some of the punches, they're still gonna fuck up your face.
Spence is more of a volume guy, right? He was a volume puncher, and he looked dehydrated to me in that fight. Like he just
probably, yeah,
like Spence, he probably had a rehydration clause. And either way, it's another example of how when you go up in weight, you have no power, because Mikey could punch. You know what? 140. I think he hurt Broner, didn't he? He fucked Broner up.
Oh, he hurt Broner. Yeah, he stopped.
Yeah, he hurt Broner.
Didn't he stop the other guy, the Hispanic guy, Hispanic American who fought Pacquiao?
I'd have to look at it. I forgot.
Shit.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I forgot his name. I'm gonna go look that up real quick. Look at him there, but Mikey from the lower the weights, he did have a punch. Jesse Vargas.
Jesse Vargas. Yeah, I don't even remember that fight. Was
he beat him? It was unanimous. It was unanimous decision.
Was that at welterweight?
I don't know what weight it was. I'm not sure. I think it was welterweight. I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
Yeah,
they don't show that was any other weight. I think it was welterweight. Yeah.
Did he drop it? I don't remember. No, but you're right. The power wasn't there anymore. Of course, it's normal. I don't know. So yeah, exactly. These people that think that Crawford's gonna like.
He might have gone back down. I gotta look that up. But he had 2 fights after the Spence fight. He fought Jesse Vargas was one of them, and then he fought Sander Martin. That was he lost his last fight actually to Sander Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Earl Spence.
Bray in the chat says Mikey should have stayed at 135. Of course, I was just like, he was never really into boxing.
No, he wasn't.
He wanted paydays. That's a good example of a boxer who just wants to get some paydays and get the fuck out. That was Mikey Garcia.
He never loved it. But it was a family business.
But you're saying Shakur is in that same position? Similar position? Shakur?
I don't think Shakur loves the sport either.
Really?
I think he's just trying to get a payday. He's trying to get his last payday. Yeah, I think he despises it. He despises the fans.
Is it
He's
because
just like
how
Floyd
do you,
is.
how do you know that? Is it because he doesn't want to get hit? He doesn't like to get hit. He's very.
He's just like Floyd. They're just like Floyd. At some point, they use they don't. They're not about legacy. They're about cherry picking and just trying to make as much money as they can.
Yeah, but
And all the criticism he's gotten from his fans, he despises them. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, we can say. I mean, Shakur is not in a position. Is he in a position to say, "I'll just have 2 more fights and call it quits"? You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what he wants
Has he
to do.
reached that point where I'm good enough to retire?
I think he's so broken down physically, his hands and everything, that he would retire fairly soon. And if he fights the right guy, like a guy who's like got like real power who could knock him out, I think he's already his marketability so low. This is why I'm saying he's never been more marketable, because they built this false narrative around the Zepeda fight. And so that's why he's trying to strike as the iron's hot. You notice he's jumping all over the place. He was willing to go all the way up to welterweight and fight Conor Ben. And then Conor Ben's like, no, bro, I got to fight. I don't need to fight you. That's why they had him on the Ariel Helwani show. They were trying to line him up with Conor Ben.
Oh,
and now Tank Davis is like, I'm out of here, right? Tank Davis out of nowhere, he just retires, right? As this guy comes up the Zepeda fight. And then after that, maybe this is why Keyshawn ducked out as well. You know, it's like Keyshawn out of nowhere, I'm retired. Maybe Turkey would have been like, hey, bro, you can fight Shakur, right? I bet if you dig into it, you'd probably find they try to, and they probably try to line him up with Keyshawn. And now he's calling out Teofimo Lopez out of nowhere. I know he wouldn't have fought Keyshawn, but, you know, Turkey would have been like, bro, you're fighting Keyshawn. So my guess is that maybe he will fight Teofimo Lopez, but it's to get money. It's a money fight for him.
You know what?
He's towards the end of his career.
He understands he's no longer in control. The environment has changed. And what do I mean by the environment has changed? The Turkey factor. He's making fights that he might not like. He's like, oh, shit. You know, at some point I'm going to get so exposed. It's going to be let me just get a few paychecks with this guy, with Turkey, and then get the fuck out.
You got to strike while the iron's hot, too. You got to get that fight because they built him up. So Teofimo's a good fight for him. That could generate some money. They built him up real well after that Zepeda.
Right. Right now, he's in a good position. Now, but what's he going to do? That's the thing. Is there any possibility? I mean, what's left for Shakur at lightweight? There's really, I mean, there's Tank, but that's never going to happen, right? So,
well, there's the, what's his name? Kid Austin, right?
Kid Austin, yeah. I don't think the lawyer's going to allow that shit.
I mean, that's the logical fight for him. That the guy, you know, destroyed Farmer. They're saying this guy's a big old beast, Shakur, right? He's so good. Why don't you go after him? Because you don't want him. That's why he's going up. That's why he's trying to go up.
I think
he thinks that guy that guy's going to use Shakur as a stepping stone. That's what I think is going to happen. That's the dude that's going to create the super fights, Kid Austin. Imagine you say Kid Austin versus Teofimo Lopez. You're going to watch that. I'm going to watch that.
Against Tank Davis. Yeah, of course. No, I mean,
versus anybody. Yeah, he's way
Yeah.
more exciting. Way more exciting. Yeah. He's a star. He could be. He has a potential.
When Turkey said no more Tom and Jerry, I think Shakur immediately understood there's no place for me in this sport. There's no place for me with Turkey, because every fight I'm going to have to perform. Every fight I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do. So he wants to cash out. He wants out.
But it's also his body. He's breaking down. And also, like I said, his marketability. If he gets a devastating loss to a big punch or whatever, how is he going to build himself up? He's not very exciting. So they have to literally lie for him. So, I mean, literally, this guy's biggest win is him shoulder rolling up on the ropes, getting beat up. That's the best he can do.
Getting beat up.
He can't beat up. You look at this guy over here, Kid Austin. He's laying Farmer out. Like, you don't have to say nothing. You just look at it. Right. It's right there. You see it. So this guy, he got a strike right now, real quick, right as he's got it. This is the best he's going to ever have. And that's why he went straight after Tank Davis immediately after. And Tank's got better plans. You know, he got other plans.
Very quickly, I'm not sure if you guys seen it or if it's old news, but Ring Magazine just posted 13 minutes ago that Boots has signed to fight Ortiz in 2026.
I heard that. I read that. Dude, I bet you he's not going to fight him. I saw the shit. It was suspect. I saw the readout.
Yeah.
I saw what his promoter was saying, Eddie Hearn, that shit is suspect. Everything about it.
Well, according to Ring Magazine, that's what Eddie Hearn says, that Jerron Boots Ennis has signed and agreed to terms to fight Virgil in 2026.
Ortiz has to fight in October, right? Or not?
He said most things were agreed upon, but there's nothing finalized. It looks suspect to me. I read that today. I was actually going to do a show today,
what's
and I read the whole thing. Well, what's really suspect is the fact that they said they've agreed upon all these things. Just the Eddie Hearn team. They have not said anything about Ortiz's side. It's their own side.
Yo, and never sober. We can barely hear you. You sound like
you're very low.
You're far away or some shit. What were you gonna say?
It sounded real suspect from what I read because it was all coming from the Eddie Hearn side. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Eddie Hearn is going around town. He's going around town lowballing everybody. He's lowballing fighters left and right, and they're all ducking out because he's not paying them correctly. So my guess, maybe he'll come over here lowball Virgil as well. Now
it's already been debunked by Virgil's manager.
But what was debunked?
That whole little fake deal and shit.
But yeah, but that's what I just said. Like I said, it was all on Eddie Hearn's side.
It's right there.
All of it. Yeah. All of it was on the Eddie Hearn side. Ortiz has not agreed to any of this shit. What they're doing is they're setting it up for Ortiz to look like he's ducking. I think that's what they're going to try to do. That's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, because let's be honest. A few weeks ago, we heard the news that what's his name? Boots Ennis wanted 2 tune-up fights. You're telling me a few weeks later now he's ready for Ortiz? Well, why did you want 2 tune-up fights before? Right?
Exactly.
So he doesn't want to fight Ortiz yet. Not yet.
They'll say Ortiz ducked out on it, even though he's saying he wants 2 tune-ups. Yeah, okay.
All right.
If this guy's nothing, he's ducking you.
You know, it's crazy that he wants 2 tune-ups. He's fought at 54 more times than Virgil has.
Yeah, you're right. You keep mentioning that. Yeah. Yeah,
but look it up.
But no, I am recently, he hasn't fought at 154. He hasn't fought any top opposition at 154. It's been a long time, I guess. So he wants 2 tune-up fights to get. But I mean, to me, that's too much. Maybe 1 tune-up fight.
But that's basically confirming what I just told you.
Too much. Go ahead.
This thing that Sober's put in the look. This thing that Sober's just put in the comments just confirms what I just told you. I read what Eddie Hearn said. The shit sounds crazy suspect. Everything is on their end. They're saying we've agreed to all this stuff, and then they say nothing about Ortiz's side, right? And so what Sober's put on there is showing that they're full of shit. That nothing's been agreed. This is all BS. It's all on their end.
Agree to what?
And what I think is going to happen is that they're going to keep ducking. They're going to keep ducking this guy, I think.
So
they're going to try to bypass.
PR move. Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it is a PR move.
Exactly
and the reason why I think it's a PR move is they make it seem like he's entering a new division when he was already experienced there.
That's true. I mean, he was a big guy at 147, and that's the whole reason why he moved up and didn't manage to unify the division. He just couldn't make it anymore because that was the plan for Boots to stay at 147 and get all the belts. He got 2 belts and then he bounced because he just couldn't fucking make the weight cut anymore.
I like that. You said, did you read what Sober's put in there, Bucho?
Yeah.
One of the things they say in there is they stop with the fake negotiations. Like this, where I saw someone that said fake negotiations.
Promoter 559. Who the fuck is this? Who's this?
Who is that? Sobers. Who is that?
That's his manager.
That's his manager.
That's Boots' manager.
That's
Virgil.
Oh, that's Virgil. Okay, so
he called it fake.
Let me try and read it.
That's Ortiz's camp.
Fucking small. It's not fighting Boots at all in January. So it's not he says fake news. He's not fighting Boots at all in January or anytime soon. We have no offer. We said yes 3 times prior and he backed out. Every circus needs a clown. And sorry, we are not in this circus. Boots needs Virgil. Virgil needs no one. I can read today. Fuck. Virgil needs no one, let alone these childish games. You want to make a fight? Stop the fake negotiations and drama, as I have not been contacted once. And if you think a deal is being made between promoters without me, then you're clearly cracked out. Everyone knows in this sport, if there is a deal to be made, I will sit at the table and make it. I don't play around and most often get right to a deal in the first 15 minutes or we move on. No one tells us who to fight or we'll or will. See, it's not me reading correct. This shit's written all fucked up, man. Anyways, we will mutually come to an agreement. Yeah, like we will. There's no commas or anything. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. That's how we all write like that on the internet. Come on.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But I'm trying to read here.
It is,
I'm drinking.
Which was like, what? There's no punctuation. Where do I take a breath?
But it's true. Exactly. It's hard to read this because there's no punctuation at all.
Yeah, that's my excuse.
Oh, actually, I see 2 punctuation marks in there.
When do I pause?
In this massive fucking statement.
All right.
This is why they need limits on comments in Twitter.
Lies. I mean, again, it's to me, it's very weird that Boots Ennis a few weeks ago wanted to tune up fights. All of a sudden, he says he's ready for a Virgil Ortiz fight. Then
to sum it all up, he's basically saying that the negotiations are bullshit. These are fake negotiations. Yeah. He said this is just for show. This is PR, like you said. This is what Eddie Hearn has been doing since Boots got to 154. Joke. They keep just basically pussyfooting around and trying to chair joke. But they want to make it out like guys like Ortiz are fucking ducking, and all these guys are just ducking Boots. Is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
In order to save his reputation, because when he brought up those 2, I need 2 tune-ups. That should hurt his reputation when he said that, right? And so now they're trying to save face by doing this kind of shit with these fake negotiations. And this dude fucking he exposed him right here. I mean, not a lot of punctuation, but it's there. It's pretty long, man.
What's gonna
they got
happen,
a captain.
Wait, what was the rumor that somebody was gonna jump immediately to middleweight? Was it Ortiz or somebody else who's gonna move up to middleweight?
That's me. I'm doing it.
What? No, someone said.
Well, remember, a couple years ago, like they were saying Spence after beating Bud, Spence was supposed to fight Canelo.
Oh yeah, no.
That was gonna happen. That was gonna happen, bro.
That was the plan. I mean, that's what Al Heyman wanted for sure.
That was the plan with the PBC, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man, they got it way off. Holy shit, they got it so wrong. Same as this fight with Canelo and Crawford. Some of these people, these so-called experts, are a little bit crazy with their predictions. But anyway, I don't want to get back into that. We talked about that for a long time now. Let's stick to this.
We have to go back again.
No. So yeah, anyway, okay, guys, all these people who were getting all excited about Ortiz and Boots fighting, it's not happening.
Not gonna happen. Yeah, they're gonna keep kicking that fucking can down the road till Ortiz goes up in weight. That's what's gonna end up happening.
All right,
but it don't matter.
Can we speculate on what Eddie Hearn's plan is for Boots, or what Boots?
My guess is he's gonna try to get him as many cherry picks as possible. But they're working. The thing is, I think this is through Eddie Hearn. This is not through Riyadh season. And I think that's why there's not a lot of money in it. I think once Turkey comes in there and he offers the big money, the Ortiz fight might happen. I think Ortiz should come up to Turkey Al-Sheikh and just say, hey, bro, we want the fight. Just put up the money. And then he'll have to force him into that big money fight. And I think at that point, Eddie Hearn will force Boots to fight him.
So do you you guys think that Eddie Hearn wants to have Boots fight on his own, like take him to the side, build him up a little bit, and then wait for that Turkey offer?
Remember what Turkey said? Turkey said no more tune-ups. That's what he said. Remember this? He said no more tune-ups. So what I think this guy is doing is he's trying to pay this out of his pocket, and that's why he's lowballing all these guys. He's lowballing all of them.
Yeah, so Eddie Hearn wants to give Boots some tune-ups, but obviously not working with Riyadh, and then eventually wait for Riyadh to come back and go like, okay, we want Boots. We need Boots to fight this guy. He's like, okay, I think he's ready now. He had 2 tune-up fights, 3 tune-up fights. I don't know.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's shit business. Is what it is. This stuff is stupid. I think Turkey should say, bro, if you don't fight him now, I'm not paying it. I'm never paying for this shit.
He should. But what does that tell you about the confidence that Eddie Hearn has on Boots Ennis, or Boots Ennis' confidence on himself? Like they're not confident.
Oh yeah, that's what he's trying to make, like 2 decent paydays, right? Before the big collapse, maybe.
Really?
The big come down.
So you think
I think he's trying to make 2 good paydays. Yeah.
Is Boots not confident after defeating what's his name again? Stanionis?
Stanionis, yeah. No, he's not.
He's not.
Not at all.
Even though he stopped him.
No. I mean, the stoppage was pretty, to me, in my book, very questionable. The guy was literally staring Boots down as he went to the corner, like, bro, you can't fucking do nothing to me. And then, it stopped. And you watch the fight. I mean, he's hitting this dude clean so many times. This is one of the reasons I think Ortiz is going to beat the shit out of this dude. And I think Boots knows that. I think Eddie Hearn knows this as well. You ain't getting tuned up by fighting two bums. It's not going to help you. You're just basically you're postponing the inevitable. That's what's happening here. The most fucked up part about it
is that
is
in the gym with sparring partners. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's where the tune-up happens. It happens in the gym. That's where the real tune-up happens. But like, why are you in the gym sparring? That's a tune-up in the gym when you spar. Now you get in the fucking ring and have a fight.
I need like 2 tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Basically, he's saying I need 2 easy
3 million a pop. 3 million a pop.
What I think he's saying I need 2 easy paydays before I take this fight that might get me knocked the fuck out and I look like shit and I get less money. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. He ain't gonna be the A side.
Keep the gravy train rolling. You hear that? They're trying to keep the gravy train rolling.
Exactly. And it's all coming to an end now because Turkey. They're like, bro, you ain't getting that big money, and they see it right now with Eddie Hearn. This guy over here, what's his Josh Kelly? He's saying this dude's paying him way less than Turkey did, because Josh Kelly got paid by Turkey in his last fight, and he said Turkey paid him way more than what Eddie Hearn's gonna give him. And that's what I'm telling people: Turkey's taking over this shit. He's taking over it because these guys are not paying the way that guy's paying.
And it's funny too because he's gonna do the same thing that the PBC tried to do, right? He's gonna buy him high. He's gonna buy him high, and then he's gonna undercut him later.
No, he's doing a lot better than the PVC. If you go look at
the same, it's the same strategy, bro. Just throw money at everybody.
No, the structure's way better at the what Turkey's doing. They're getting money.
It is better.
If they get hurt, they're getting thousands for medical.
The promotion is much better. All that. It's all better.
It's all better. It's all better. The guys are all against it. They need to go look at the Ali Act and then look at what they're doing. There's a lot of really crazy shit going on in boxing that allows this corruption to go on forever. And there's always going to be corruption in boxing, but that model, I think that model is far better for boxing. This fucking tune-up shit this guy's about to do, how the hell could that even happen? So look at this. Think about this. The Muhammad Ali Act, you cannot be both a promoter and a manager. So Eddie Hearn, what he's doing right now is that he's going to have this guy fight his own fighters, right? And so he's managing him. He's fucking picking his fights. He's a promoter and the manager. He's like, oh, well, Boots deserves had two tune-up fights. What the fuck? You're the promoter, aren't you? How are you the manager as well? I thought that was against the Ali Act. So it's all bullshit. But within what Turkey wants to do, Turkey can come in and do this. He can say this: you don't fight this guy, you make no money at all. You cannot fight anyone if you do not fight this guy. That's the kind of power that they want to have. And that's what the UFC has. The UFC says, well, if you don't fight this guy, you don't fight. What do you think's going on with John Jones right now in the UFC? He ain't fighting Aspinall. Guess what? You're not fighting at all. He has no fights. None. They're not giving him other fights. Right?
Yeah, I don't think boxing's going to end up like that, though.
I think it is. I think for sure it's going to end up like that. You got to keep in mind, Dana White is buddies with Donald Trump. Right? The guy's got a lot of power over there. And also, Vince McMahon, his wife, is actually part of our government in America.
Yeah,
she manages the Board of Education.
Yeah,
she manages the Board of Education.
Yeah,
so you have who's also a part of the TKO merger, right? That's part of the WWE, the guy that owns the WWF. So that's 2 ways that these guys are in the government. So I've no doubt about it. These guys are going to have they have tons of power going into this.
Take out the Ali Act, right? That you said.
They don't want to take it out. They want to change certain things about it. And there's certain things in there that are kind of interesting. I mean, to give more power to the promotion, right? Because what we have in boxing right now is we have like what I would say they're almost like little kids. I think boxing needs a daddy. That's what they need. They need a daddy, and that's what's going to help the sport a lot. Because the sport, people believe it or not, this sport was on the way out. A huge decline in boxing.
And
people don't understand that.
I'm for anybody getting, boxers, whoever, getting paid their fair share. But at the same time, I'm against some of these boxers getting these crazy ass paydays and not doing anything that actually destroys the sport.
They're entitled. They're all entitled. That's what
look at the state of the sport is in shambles. It's never been worse, and yet these guys are getting paid extremely high purses, like all-time highs. When it comes to purses, and there's something wrong here. You shouldn't be getting paid this much.
I think there really is. I mean, dude, it's to the point that all the networks drop the sport.
Right.
And all these guys are like, yeah, I got my payday. I don't give a fuck. But guess what? What about all the people in the
I'm
future?
I'm getting hit. You know, what about me? It's like, well, if you don't like it, get the fuck out. This is how you should be. Like, what do you think? Like, you're special? Yeah, you should get paid what you should get paid. But holy fuck. I mean, and not on top of that, they're getting paid millions and they're running. They're on the back foot. They're clinching. They're I'm winning, though. Yeah. I'm winning. I'm getting paid. You're not going to take care of me when I retire. Yeah, well, because we're taking care of your retirement.
I'm winning. I don't want to get brain damage.
Lack of logic is just...
Yeah, they're getting paid to be Muay Thai fighters and track and field players in boxing. Isn't that crazy?
Muay Thai fighters, yeah.
Well, what's funny is one of the things in the Ali Act is they cannot intimidate these guys, right? So imagine this. Promotion comes up to the guy. They say, hey, bro, if you don't fight this guy, we're firing you. Or you get no fights. And people say, well, you can't do that. It's intimidation. Well, guess what? If you're at work and you tell your boss, I'm not going to do that. What does your boss say? He says, if you don't do that, I'm going to fire you.
Yeah. Oh, you're threatening him, though.
Oh, you're threatening me. You're threatening to fire me.
Fire me. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. They got all kinds of weird stuff like that in there. But, that's all he was, right? He was a little spoiled brat. That's what he was. He ran around the fucking ring like a bitch and did all kinds of shit outside the rules of the sport, yet they were giving him all these rounds for fighting like a bitch. Oh, look, he's on the ropes getting his ass whooped. He's winning. I mean, he was one of the first examples of that. Just laying up on the ropes getting his ass whooped. I thought there was a thing called ring generalship in boxing. You're the ring general laying up on the ropes. It's the rope-a-dope. He's doping him out. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
What if he didn't get tired?
Yeah, you're on the ropes. He's a rope-a-dope, and you're winning the fight. Right?
He probably made that shit up after the fight.
On the ropes, right? You wanted to be on the ropes. It wasn't the other guy that pushed you onto the ropes. It was you. You wanted to be there. And get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these guys did. They sit up on the ropes, all juiced up, slipping punches. Guy gets tired. What happens if he doesn't get tired? Who's the dope? You, the dumbass who got your ass whooped up on the ropes.
What? Why is it called rope-a-dope when it should be called rope and hope?
That's exactly what it is, rope and hope. Hopefully he gets tired. He's getting tired. Hopefully. Oh, God.
Rope and hope.
You get Alzheimer after that.
You know what? You know what's interesting, man, about this whole Ali thing is, let's face the facts. The reason why, because Usyk, they've been ignoring him for a long time. They didn't want certain Americans didn't want to mention him, because what happens is if a guy gets too successful and they can't shit on him anymore, they can't make up narratives like, well, he avoided this guy, or who has he fought? They couldn't deny his greatness anymore, so they ignored him. Then he keeps on winning, and then he became, okay, well, he's good, but he's not as good as Ali. And I'm thinking, look, for the people who made it racial or who only started comparing him to Ali due to race, let's not forget that Ali is the classic, well, he's the CLN, classic light-skinned nigga. And Afro Anglos are always complaining about whitey, right? A lot of Afro Anglos complain about the white people being the white devil. They're Afro Anglos' worst enemy. I disagree. I've talked to a number of Afro Anglos within that community, in the culture. One of the things they say is light-skinned Afro Anglos, some of them can be devious. Some of them are pumped up by the establishment.
Yeah.
And this creates a whole different war within. So let's not forget that Muhammad Ali was a CLN. Like FUTV, Real Food said, this dude was spoiled coming up. I forget the name of the book I read a long time ago, but it was a book. It was a book that explaining Ali and explaining away some of the myths surrounding Ali. For example, it said that whole no Viet Cong ever called me the N-word. The Nation of Islam told him to say that. And because of that whole anti-Vietnam stance, that's why a lot of boomers are obsessed with Muhammad Ali. The other thing about Muhammad Ali is that when he was in trouble with the government, with the federal government, he had to, it cost him a lot of money, had to pay a lot in legal fees. Joe Frazier, the story was.
That's the problem. He didn't go over there.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the story was that
he became a backfoot bitch outside the ring.
You know how racist they probably are over there?
No, but the story was that Joe Frazier lent him money in his time of need. When Muhammad Ali was in dire straits, Joe Frazier lent him money because he wanted to fight Ali, and he wanted Ali to resolve those legal issues so that they could fight. So Frazier extended a helping hand, like a good Christian helped him out. How did Ali repay him? He mocked him for being unable to read properly. Started to call him gorilla. All these people that are just trying to, compare Usyk to Ali because they got some sort of racial agenda. Let's not forget, Ali wouldn't have been your friend. He's an icon now 50 years after the fact because he's been deified that way. In fact, a lot by the white media.
Yes,
but believe me, this dude was, from all accounts, wasn't really the nicest of guys, and especially not the nicest of friends to the Afro-Anglo community.
Didn't he say something along the lines of? Didn't he say something along the lines of, "I don't have any white friends; they're associates"?
He said that, but all his wives were pretty light over there.
No,
to like light skinned ones.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
the dude's a fraud. He was a fraud. He really was. He spoiled rotten.
Well, no, the resume speaks for itself. But what I'm saying is, when people made it, like when people started comparing Usyk to Ali because they said, we got Ali, he ain't gonna beat Ali, and they were doing a lot of them were doing it purely for racial reasons. Don't forget, Ali wasn't exactly the best friend to the Afro-Anglo community.
Yeah. I mean, but he was also a media darling. They act like he was like
I remember one time there was a
like an
sorry,
outcast.
there was an A&E documentary about Ali, and they were interviewing celebrities. A lot of them, people that grew up, they were young and impressionable back in the day, and they deified Ali. One of them was Billy Crystal. He's like, I remember when I saw the Frazier fight, the first one, and when Frazier dropped him, tears were streaming down my eyes, and I said, "Get up, champ. Get up." I said, "Come on." I don't believe that story for a second. I mean, I'm pretty sure he does.
Knows.
Yeah, you never know, man. But I mean,
Billy Crystal, like Max Kellerman, he's gonna let that guy live with him.
That's the other thing. I heard Billy Crystal sort of insufferable himself a little bit.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
one of those dudes that he's a comedian, a comic actor, but he's got to stick up his ass. That's what I heard. I hear a lot of things, by the way. I don't know if you noticed.
I can tell. And it wasn't, he had to stick up his ass. I mean, literally.
Come on.
Right.
Have you seen him lately? Or the past couple of years?
I haven't seen him lately. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a reason I think why he's not showing his face. The dude got one of those surgeries, plastic surgeries to try to look younger. He looks all stretched out but puffy on the around the cheeks. So he's got that bimbo, the way the girls look when they get that
make you work kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah.
Damn. I you know what I like Billy Crystal when he did Throw Mama from the Train. You ever saw that?
No, I've never seen that one. No.
You got to watch that. That's a good one. Throw Mama from the Train. Outside of that, there's one other. Running Scared was his other good film, and City Slickers, the first one. Outside of that, I don't think I like Billy Crystal.
Yeah, you never saw him.
He looks like John Leguizamo, but like more.
Hey, well, you're speaking about movies. You're talking about John Leguizamo. You're talking about The Pest, an underrated classic, right?
Oh yeah. Everyone loved that.
Can't believe who greenlit that.
It was Mario Bros. That was a good movie.
Mario Bros.
That's his masterpiece. Yeah.
Oh, that was good too. As a kid, I was like, "Where's the sequel?" Turns out the movie was garbage. I didn't know it as a kid. Right?
Did you guys talked about Ennis? You guys talked about. Oh, by the way, there was a fight today from Benghazi, Libya. Believe it or not, I'm not kidding. Benghazi, Libya. One of the guys in the undercard was Mirko Cuello, Argentinian power puncher from the what is he now? Featherweight or super featherweight division. This dude is good. This dude is very good. Now, the first time we saw him on his US debut was on a PBC card. He fought a Mexican dude, Olivio something. I forget the guy's name. And they traded knockdowns, and he looked kind of vulnerable in that one. Cuello did. But then he ended up pulling it out with a knockout. And today he made it look easy. He fought a Mexican southpaw, unknown guy, but still he wiped the floor with him, dropped him a couple of times, and just stopped him. Mirko Cuello, we've talked about him on the show before, and I would suggest you fellas check him out because he could could shake things up in that featherweight, super featherweight realm.
Ah. Did you guys see the video of Canelo biting people?
Yes.
Wait, what?
I'll put it in the comments so you guys can see it.
He was
funny because
yeah, go ahead.
There's a bunch of people right now that calling this out saying, "Oh, look, Canelo, he's taking it easy. He's not taking Crawford seriously. He's in the gym slightly wrestling a guy." And I'm thinking that maybe he was inspired by Crawford, right? But a lot of these guys right now are using this as ammunition for Canelo not taking Crawford seriously. I mean, he's literally doing what Crawford's been doing for months. You know, he's strong. You know, he keeps wrestling men. So Canelo, you know, this is his response to Crawford. He not only wrestles men, he bites them. Look, I put the video in the comments section if you want to show it.
Yeah, also...
the funny thing is, I think I really is... Oh, yeah, he's smiling. But I think that actually is, in a lot of ways, a response to Crawford. You know, all this fucking wrestling shit they keep talking about? Like, you never see him do this wrestling.
So what you're saying, Julio, you think Crawford is going to walk out to the LGBT flag?
Oh,
yeah,
come
for
on.
Sure, for sure. Oh, yeah, he will, of course.
I think, you know what?
Video in the comments, you'll see the grab, the wrestling, and the biting. He's training.
Amok he's told me that he thinks Crawford does have a good chance of beating Canelo, but that he's going to have to stretch out all his talent into that 168-pound division. He's going to have to stretch it nice and wide.
He's got to go fully girth.
Yeah,
exactly. It's almost like he has to leave that talent deep.
Oh, yeah, you got to get in there deep. You got to get deep, yeah.
He's got to use his offense to penetrate his defense.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got to get in and out, man. That's what he's got to do. That's the plan.
In and out, yeah.
Bucho
he's got to be slippery.
Yeah.
Are you going to show the video? Because if not,
I mean, it's pretty funny. I would show it if I were you.
It's going to take a while. Go ahead, B.
It's in the comments. Right there in the
I
Discord.
I think I have to screen share to the people. Go ahead, B. Well, I'll try to do this fucking shit.
Yes, while Bucho sets the video up, I wanted to say that Terence Crawford just recently came out and said that La Hoya in his prime was better than Canelo. And I'm thinking, look, that La Hoya was good. His prime, I would say,
better.
Yeah, I would say his prime was 96, 2002. I think that after 2002, that's when he started Golden Boy. And obviously, Golden Boy promotions didn't become big until the late 2000s. But by 2003, he was already a part-time fighter. So really, let's look at 96 to 2002. That's 6 years. His best. He fought everybody. Oh, there we go. There's the video. What is that? Already, I'm laughing.
Shit is funny. Canelo.
This guy is nothing.
What you do. He's like, I'm different. You're nothing different about you.
Yeah, and then Crawford's like, I see you. He's like, what?
I see you.
Right, he's stretching.
He's like, I see you.
Animo cabrón. He's saying animo cabrón. So he's saying like, hold on, we're watching this video here. He's saying, yeah. I'm watching it without the audio. What is he saying, Bucho?
Let's see.
Just like,
you guys got it on?
Let's go.
It's like, let's go. Hey, like, go. Let's go. Look, I'm just like Crawford. He's super gay. Okay, let's do this right now. Let me pretend you're turkey. This is Crawford with turkey. This is what Crawford does at night.
He's biting his shoulder.
This is what Crawford does with turkey at night. Even he's in his palace.
This is what he calls jitsu, you know?
That's roid rage right there.
But you see what he's doing, right? He's imitating Crawford. He's grabbing and wrestling guys and all that shit, right?
Nah, man, that's roid rage. Roid rage, man. Look at that. Who bites somebody? That's roid rage right there. Roid rage.
I do, just not men.
And why does he have the seppuku eyes? Why does he have the what do they call those? You see that tattoo on his forearm? Senpaku eyes, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. That's you ever saw Home Improvement?
Yeah.
The neighbor?
Yeah.
And he's always got the fence in between.
Did you ever see, there was Home Improvement, and I always confused it in the TV listings, Home Improvement and Home Invasions. That was a different show.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
That was Tim Allen. That was Tim Allen's past life. That's why he went to jail.
I think that's what it's called. Cops. I think that was called Cops.
Yeah. But Bucho, what do you think about that? What do you think about Crawford saying De La Hoya was a better fighter than Canelo is right now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Can I have some input real quick?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think I agree. No. I know. I disagree. I disagree with Crawford. I think Canelo is better than him. But I will say, like, for me, Oscar's best fights were the fights where he lost. Like his second fight with Shane Mosley. For me, I thought that was like prime Oscar. The second time he fought Mosley, and the first time he fought Tito. So in the two fights, he caught an L. I thought it's where he boxed the best. The only thing is with Tito, obviously he conceded the last 3 rounds. But with Shane Mosley, he was on point. You know, he was strong.
Mosley
and for me, I think Canelo's best fight.
Mosley
Mosley was on steroids.
Almost on steroids.
Yeah, and to me,
he didn't test positive.
To me, despite Mosley being, you know, juiced up, Oscar still outboxed him. And to me, Canelo. And to me, I'll just finish up. To me, Canelo's best fights were with Triple G, though 1 and 2. Obviously, 2, I think he won it. And 1, people are always gonna say it's either a draw or a GG took it. Triple G took it.
Mm-hmm.
But and a side note, I heard Turkey's a big fan of BDA. If he can, he's throwing so much money. Why not throw money at Loma to come out of retirement and fight Tank? That's the only fight I want to see.
He's washed up. I don't even think Lomachenko's mind.
Even if he's washed up, let's say he's washed up. Does he have to be 100% to beat Tank? Who knows? Like that guy was really, really talented, man.
Yeah, he's old, and again, he's been screwed over so many times. He just gave up on the sport. That's what I think.
Yeah, but money changes everything.
Well, what about ring rust? You know?
Yeah, exactly. No, man, come on. There's so many factors.
Turkey's a fan of the sport, and he's throwing money at these guys. Bro, throw some money that way.
Yeah, so Tank can win, and everybody could say, "Oh, look, Lomachenko was, he was never that good."
Tank won't win because it's not PBC. So Tank's been fighting under the PBC umbrella his whole career. I don't know. I just think that's a good fight to make. Like that's one for the boxing fans. The real.
If Loma had a comeback bout and looks like he did against Kambosos and looked sensational, yeah, that could fire up the expectation. But right now, since he hasn't fought in a year now, I guess it wouldn't really be the best thing in the world. I would have liked to have seen Cuauhtemoc, really, and I still think the Lomachenko that beat Kambosos, yeah, that would have been enough to beat Tank Davis. Yeah. Because a lot of what Lomachenko does is the same things that Roach does, in the sense that he transitions between offense and defense very, very well. And on top of that, Lomachenko is faster than Roach. Although I do think Roach is a little bit more consistent on the inside and at mid-range, whereas Lomachenko likes to, do a lot of in and out, a lot of feinting, which I don't think is really that necessary against a guy like Tank Davis. But it would have been a good fight. Now, as to the De La Hoya Canelo thing, like I was saying earlier, De La Hoya's prime was really between 96 and 2002. And like Cuauhtemoc said, and Bucho mentioned too, that, by the way, Bucho did that. The reason why I said Mosley didn't test positive is because technically he never tested positive. It was only after the whole Balco thing came out and the files and all that were found and testimony. That's when, they admitted that he'd been given steroids. But technically he never failed any test, which is why when people keep saying, well, Crawford.
He been telling us.
That's why when people keep saying.
He's testing negative. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. But as it pertains to De La Hoya, he beat. The Trinidad thing, man, look, he schooled Trinidad for about 7 rounds, but those last 4 rounds, and then maybe round 1 and 2, you could give it to Trinidad. So I could understand. That's one of those fights that every time I see it, it changes. And people could say, well, wait a minute, there's a clear criteria of judging. So how can your mind change? I don't know why. I see things differently when I rewatch that fight. Now I've watched it a number of times, but let's say we give it a Trinidad.
Scored it on my channel. I had it for I scored it for Trinidad. It was a very close fight. As a kid, the narrative was always that Canelo, that Oscar got robbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched it again recently on my channel, rescored it. I thought Trinidad edged it. He edged the fight, I thought.
No,
but I mean, we'd have to see, some people maybe. Maybe some people don't like
Puerto Rican bias.
Maybe.
He's not being biased. He's not being biased, but I would want to watch it with people, but without the trolling commentary, right? Like real, just call it legit, no trolling, just call it how it is.
It was close. It was a close fight, and they're actually, for both fighters, I think there was huge gaps for both of them. From what I remember, where guys were winning numerous rounds in a row. And that was for both fighters. Like Oscar would have a string of rounds, and then Trinidad would have a string of rounds as well. And then towards the end, I think it kind of went back and forth. And then, I think Trinidad edged it in the end. I'd have to watch it again. But the last time I watched it, which was 2 years ago, me and Bob scored it on my channel live rescore, and we had it for Trinidad. He edged it, I think, by 1 or 2 rounds.
Well, can I say that if you go by the body language, and I know we don't judge fights on body language, but it is rather interesting that Papa Trinidad was slapping Tito in between rounds, and Trinidad looked dejected. He was bleeding from the nose. I think he sort of felt maybe he went in there expecting to do better than against De La Hoya. Maybe he went in there expecting, I'm gonna dominate this guy, and maybe that's why he was so frustrated. But that's exactly the thing.
That's like classic. That's like prime Oscar. I mean, obviously it wasn't prime Oscar, but it was like to me the best version of Oscar De La Hoya, right? When he had his
I
footwork.
think it was the best version I've ever seen of De La Hoya. Expect that
He had great
fight.
footwork.
I mean,
it's not the best because he didn't. Yeah, it's not the best because he didn't produce offense like the second half. To me, the best was Oscar and Shane Mosley. That was the best Oscar.
I feel like he became flat-footed when he started training with Floyd Senior. His footwork went to
that
shit.
was something else. Yeah,
because he was trying to shoulder roll. Yeah, he was
shoulder roll.
Yeah, it got to. He kept reinventing himself for no reason. There wasn't a lot of.
That was the problem. Food. I've said it numerous times. That was one of the main problems with De La Hoya. He didn't have a clear identity. A writer mentioned that in Ring Magazine at the time. He said, "This dude that's one of the reasons he's always changing trainers. He thinks one of them is finally going to give him a concrete." I mean, he did have a clear style, and that style was just boxer puncher. And I think the best he's ever looked, actually. Well, I mean, performance-wise, those first 8 rounds against Trinidad were solid. But to me, when he fought, when he was under El Maestrito, El Maestro, I forget what his real name was. Gonzalo probably remembers. It was this Mexican guy that used to train Miguel Canto. Jesus what? Rivera? Was that his name?
Rivera? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you. Yeah, that Jesus Rivera, he used to train Miguel Canto. I think he was one of the trainers. I don't think he was the only trainer that was with Canto, but he gave De La Hoya some. He had him moving that head, man. Because the thing about De La Hoya early on in his career at super featherweight and lightweight, and even junior lightweight, welterweight was a little too stiff. You know, he didn't really have that loosey goosey style.
He was kind of wasn't he?
Yeah, but this dude gave him head movement, and he looked very good under him. But then the Whitaker fight happens, and at the time, a lot of people were saying, Whitaker schooled De La Hoya, which I thought De La Hoya won at 7-5.
Whitaker was cheating his ass off, wasn't he? Dirty as hell.
I mean, he was practicing a lot of the dark arts. But what I'm saying is, De La Hoya, classic De La Hoya. I didn't look good. He's reading the reviews. So what does he do? He sacks a trainer, partially as a PR move, partially also maybe to try to rebuild himself psychologically. But that dude had him looking well. So all that to say, is Crawford correct? In a fight, I know we're going to have to speculate here because it's a fantasy fight, but De La Hoya versus Canelo, how would that have gone? Let's say
De La Hoya versus Canelo.
Wait.
At 154, I got Oscar.
Oscar would have beat him, I think.
Yeah, but even that De La Hoya 154 wasn't the best De La Hoya.
No.
Yeah,
I still think he was good. I think he was solid at 154.
Anything higher than that, he loses to Canelo.
One of the biggest weapons is that jab. Like Oscar would be very disciplined. Like his corner would say, "Bro, just keep popping his head with that jab," and he would just throw all jabs the whole time. It's like it works. Why am I going to stop throwing it? It works.
Jab left hook. And he would just that was just coming out of nowhere. And that left hook.
Yeah, but he would destroy you with a jab. Like for example, like go look at Cotto versus Floyd. Look at that 6th round. If he was disciplined and his trainer would have told him, "Bro, just throw the jab," then he would have destroyed that guy.
Well, look at the whole problem. De La Hoya's jab against Mayweather. That caused him a bunch of problems, and that was a coked up 36-year-old De La Hoya. That was impressive.
But he didn't have the discipline that he didn't have that discipline like he did earlier.
For legal reasons, allegedly.
Yeah, but you know what though? Listen, it goes both ways though. It both goes ways because that if you look at Cotto when he fought Canelo, he was hitting him a lot with the jabs. It's just Canelo was very relaxed in there and didn't really. Sometimes there would be times where he wouldn't expect the jab to come, and you could tell he was a little bit too relaxed. And he was like, "Whoa!" When he would get caught by the jab, he'd be okay. I gotta mind my P's and Q's. So absolutely, that's a good point. The De La Hoya jab, that was a shotgun jab. Remember, De La Hoya was a converted southpaw, so his
jab was as big as one of his biggest weapons.
However, the counterpoint to that would be the Sugar Shane Mosley rematch. Mosley, when he started whacking him to the body with those right hands. That the fight changed. And what does Canelo have? Those big hooks to the body. And I don't know if that would have taken. De La Hoya never really had the best stamina either. So I think it would have been close, man. I think the best version of De La Hoya versus the best version of Canelo. I think it would have been close. De La Hoya 160 though. That was
speed. It's speed.
It has to be. It would have to be 154. But real quick, who do you think? For me, I'll just say right off the bat, Canelo had a prettier, like more explosive left hook. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
Canelo and De La Hoya.
I don't think so. I think
what?
De La Hoya would hit you with that shit. He dropped that hammer. You didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, the left hook was his best shot.
No, I meant. Who did I say? I meant Oscar. I meant Oscar.
No, you said Oscar. You said you said no. He said Oscar. I think, and you guys all said
I think
you're fucking with me.
No, I think. I think you guys are kind of even. I think you guys are kind of even because I think they have similar power, but the thing is, Canelo has a better left hook to the body, but De La Hoya, his left hook to the head, man. Oh hell no!
No, exactly. No,
that double left hook.
No, I think that's what
Oscar was way. Yeah. Oscar would barge you with punches too. He'd be like, bah, 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 bah. He'd send you like a million.
And that combination of De La Hoya of jab, left hook, straight, and then the left hook. Oh hell
and
no, man! De La Hoya was a problem, man.
De La Hoya on his toes. In and out, and then he would step back. Oh fuck! Come on.
Yeah,
De La Hoya was so dangerous. De La Hoya was so. De La Hoya was so dangerous, especially with that double left hook. That the first left hook gonna like break you down, the other one snapped you head completely, man. Hell no, man. Like De La Hoya left hook was a problem.
That's why it was unfair. That's why it was unfair for him to be at super featherweight and lightweight. I mean, what the fuck with 5'10"? That amount of power and speed. I mean, that was he's beating up on guys like Jesse James Leija and
the thing is
he was a bully.
And that's no. I mean, here's the thing. You will say he was a bully, but he was so young and wiry. And the thing is, he never stayed in one weight class for a long time either.
Yeah. No, he was like a young. Yeah, he was like a young teenager, young early adult. So that's permissible, right? But if he stayed at 135 as an adult over 27, okay, that's a problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you're young, sorry.
Now, Jim is read a super chat or a membership renewal. Thank you, Rappa Strong and Company. He says, "Shit, wait, I can read it from here. What the fuck? Wait.
Let me read it. Yes. Shout out to Rappack Strong and Company. He says, and Oscar De La Hoya's dad was always in the background, unlike these dads that take up the spotlight from their son/son. Un poco de masonería con el sol, hijo. Oh, wait a minute, he's going 33 degrees on us. But yeah, shout out to Rappack Strong and Company. And he's right, though. De La Hoya's father was classic old school. He was from Durango, right? I think so. Classic old school Mexican. He's like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be. He would just stay in the background. All these guys like Bill Haney, Mama Schofield, Angel Garcia. Who else am I missing? Even Brian Norman, even though he's a little bit more respectful than all the other guys, they're still always up in the forefront, giving interviews. My son, we gonna do this. This guy don't want that smoke. He don't want us to go. And us, what are you gonna get in the ring and fight? Like, Cambosa's father is one of the exceptions, by the way. Cambosa's father is one of the exceptions. That dude is funny.
Just to add to your point, man. A lot of people don't even know that how Oscar De La Hoya does look. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Is he a warrior?
Shit, a lot of people think he doesn't have a father. Shit.
But yeah, the De La Hoya versus Canelo, that would have been an interesting fight. Another thing I wanted to bring up real quick is that Topps, for those of you who are into collecting cards and all that, Topps, T-O-P-P-S, apparently they released a set of cards ranging from 1951.
Yeah. I got them all the sumo wrestlers. I got them all.
No, you got the Kung Fu Shaolin Tank Tiger style or whatever, special editions. But these ones, it's a 100 card base set, apparently. You can pre-order them August the 11th. That's what it says here on Ring TV's website. Topps released a gallery Thursday previewing the cards. One conspicuous name missing. Or actually, one name conspicuous and missing, rather. Tank Davis. And people were complaining, apparently. And Rick Glacier, or somebody said on Twitter, just goes to show you, man, that's what they were doing over at the PBC. Their biggest name didn't even make it into the Topps 100 card set. And I don't know, do we blame the PBC mismanagement for not able to make stars? What do we attribute that to? I don't know. Is anyone interested in those cards, by the way?
I'll give them a look. I mean, I collect like baseball, football, basketball cards and stuff. So I'll probably look at it.
I had the cards from the my industry days. That was before it was even popular or anything.
What do you mean?
Right, that was Upper Deck's porn division.
What industry? What industry?
Well, let's just say that still got the card from Long Dick Johnson. He's still there.
What?
Yeah, that was at top stuff.
What the?
They're black and white, right?
Oh yeah. By the way, hey, Chidlin says, "What a nerd BDA is." I didn't say I'm going to get them. I just said I saw it, and it was interesting that people were complaining that Tank Davis wasn't on there.
Are the cards are they stuck together?
Nah, come on.
And that wasn't by tops. That was by tips. Different company.
There you go. that was my tits. That's what it was.
Damn.
But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Those are interesting cars. I collected those as a kid. Just saying.
Jimmy going to buy those cards. What the fuck? Maybe we should end the show. It's been a while now. So
that was random.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. We're
it's gone a little too far.
Yeah.
Hey, apparently Black and Brown.
It's gonna be
Black and Brown is gonna be going live at 10. Oh, no, it's already 10. Jeez, Luis. Okay, so he's probably gonna go live.
We should get in and harass him.
No, I'm saying it's gonna be what the fuck? Amok wasn't kidding. He's got sumo cards.
Let's do a room raid.
He just posted it on the Discord.
Nah, that's a joke. I googled that shit, but that's a joke.
Oh my god.
Well, so who the fuck does have them then?
Japanese,
a lot of
man.
diapers.
What the fuck? Who do you think?
They look like big ass fat babies.
It'd be worse if it wasn't a Japanese guy who had those.
They have them. They have those cards. And they put them on a shrine. They put them in a shrine with like incense.
It's a fucking Redditor. Like, of course, it would be a Redditor, but yeah.
Why do they wear diapers?
Well, that's the way they do it.
Yeah, that's the Julio gear.
Do you think they can torpedo like Honda?
Wait.
All right. I don't know.
That's a Juto Naka.
All right, we should end the show. It's getting out of control. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you for being on the show. All right, on YouTube, I think you should call it a night. It's getting out of control. Talking about sumo cards and all that shit. But I really appreciate everybody who hit the like button, everybody who super chatted, everybody who wished me a happy birthday. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to be posting more videos, 2 videos coming up. And yep, we're approaching Canelo Crawford. Get ready because it's going to get crazy. I'm looking for the outro song. Fuck, there's no songs here. All right, anyways. See ya. Take care.